prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings good up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Attention Rangers fans, let's talk winning off the ice. Thrivewell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At Thrivewell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, Thrivewell offers private state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from our highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThrivewellInfusion.com. That's ThrivewellInfusion.com. Saving lives drip by drip.
Driving in a Honda Wonderland.
It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer on a fun-to-drive new Accord, Civic, CR-V, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or a 2026 CR-V, a 4.99% APR on a 2026 Civic, or a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI and Type R.
Dan Grasso back on the New York Rangers pregame show. We're getting you set for the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens coming up tonight from MSG. Rangers fans, don't miss a moment off the ice. Catch ESPN New York on YouTube for all the New York sports talk you love. Weekdays, 6A to 7P. Subscribe right now. Stay locked in. ESPN New York is on YouTube. Meantime, Mike Sullivan and the Rangers back to work yesterday up in Westchester, getting in a good practice before tonight's game against the Canadiens. And again, trying to get past the scoring drought which plagued this team in the early portion of the season, unable to pick up that elusive first victory on home ice. What is it like now to look back and to finally be able to break out of that drought that happened earlier in the season?
Once again, you talk about just the human element of it. It's, there are challenges sometimes as a coach and staff that you can predict, and there are others that you can't. I'd be lying if I told you that I would have predicted that one coming into this season. But I think our guys did a really good job. What I can tell you is based on my experience is that we try to focus on the process. Let's play the game the right way. Let's stay in the moment. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not dwell on the circumstance. Let's just stay in the moment, shift to shift. Play the right way, make good decisions. You know what our game plan is, and compete hard. And I think that's really where our focus was just more about process than being overwhelmed by the fact that, okay, it's been a little bit of a struggle here.
Meantime, mentioned the Rangers do have points in 3 straight games on the Garden Ice. What about the captain, J.T. Miller, and the team starting to play a little bit better in front of the Garden faithful?
Yeah, we're not really, it's a long season, play a lot of games. It's just the next game. It doesn't matter where it is for us. You're not going to win every game on the road. You're not going to lose every game at home. It's just, it all evens out over the course, and I think we've been better there lately, taking a little more pride in that arena. And like I said, I know we're going to bounce back. We bounce back every time we seem to have a lapse. I feel like we bounce back as a group. And that's, like I said, we're just trying not to get those games, trying to get those games out. The last game we had out of our DNA, just kind of like get out competed. We can't have that, and we know that. And I'm confident we're going to be good on Saturday.
And what about this Canadiens team in particular coming in? They've won 3 out of their last 5 games. What do you need to see on Saturday night, JT?
Just kind of everything that was going on prior, like just assertive play. I think when we move our feet and we have physical, when we have a be physical intention mindset, we typically play well. Our structure of the D zone typically is good. If we can move our feet and make fast reads and go through people, and I feel like the ice opens up and we play our best that way. It's a pretty simple message.
Second of 3 meetings this season between the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens on tap tonight. The teams will skate one more time on April the 2nd, also at Madison Square Garden. The earlier matchup this year was back on October the 18th, and the Rangers skated away with a 4-3 victory in Montreal. Artemi Panarin with a huge night, a goal and 3 assists, and Matthew Robertson scored his first career goal. Rangers do have points in 8 consecutive games against the Habs, going 6-0-2 over that stretch. The captain was asked if maybe playing an Eastern Conference opponent like Montreal puts more pressure on them to get those 2 points.
No, I don't think so. It's a game like 35 or something. These points matter this time of year, but we don't worry about ourselves. We're not worried about the Canadiens. We're worried about what our game looks like and what we got to do to be at our best. And I think we all have a nice understanding of that. So we're going to be ready to go.
This Montreal team, as I said, they've won 3 out of their last 5. Got off to a great start this year, winning 9 of their first 12 games up until November the 1st. Since then, 7-8-3, maybe leveled off a little bit, but they are playing exceptionally well on the road, much like the New York Rangers, going 9-3-2 away from home. They've got points in 8 of their last 9 games on the road, going 6-1-2 during that stretch. You have a couple of stars that stand out, of course, the Nick Suzuki's, who's got points in 10 of his last 11 games, and young Cole Caulfield with 17 goals to lead the club. He's actually lit the lamp in 3 of the last 4 games. Head coach Mike Sullivan talked about having the right mindset that you need coming into each and every one of these games, regardless of who the opponent is.
One of the things that I've always been a strong believer in is I think that your mindset going into the game goes a long way to set you up for success. You've got to bring the right mindset before the puck is even dropped, and I think that's important for us. I think we've got to have the right mindset, the right intentions, before the puck's dropped, and that's going to set us up for success. That's going to give us the opportunity to put the game in the ice that we're trying to put on the ice. And I think that's the human element of the game. Why can't you have your A game every single night? We wish we could. I think every team in the league feels the same way, but that's the human element of sports. And so, we're trying to navigate through this stuff. We're going to learn through each experience, figure out what we can take from it, try to become a better version of ourselves, and then get excited about the opportunity that's right in front of us. So we've got one tomorrow we got to get excited about.
And that is the head coach, Mike Sullivan. Now, earlier this morning, following the skate, coach was asked how hard it is specifically to play with that intensity each and every single night, especially when the standings are as volatile as they are.
Well, I just think that's the reality of today's game. There's parity in the league. There's very few teams that have a significant cushion in the standings where they might have the luxury to rest a player, for example, or something of that nature. I just think with today's NHL, with the parity in the league, most teams don't have that luxury. And so I just think it's the nature of today's game, the 3-point system thing, the whole overtime system with the 1 point, and it's hard to create separation. And so there's so much parity in the league today. At the end of the day, what I've tried to do with our group is you can't really focus on those things that are out of your control, who wins where and things of that nature. I mean, everybody takes note, everybody watches the league and understands, but at the end of the day, you got to stay in the moment, focus on your group, focus on what we can do to put ourselves in the best position to have success. But we can't think about what's happening 3 days from now, a week from now, 2 months from now, or what's going to happen in April. We just got to take care of today. Let's be the best version of ourselves today. We'll worry about tomorrow when it comes. And I think if that's the approach and we just stay in the moment and just take advantage of the moment and bring an overwhelming enthusiasm to that moment. Let's see where it takes us. But that's the approach that we're trying to take with our guys.
That's a good take from the head coach, Mike Sullivan. A couple of Rangers in particular have had success in recent past against this Montreal team, like Artemi Panarin, who has a 13-game point streak against this Canadiens team, registering 5 goals and 21 assists in the last 13 against the Habs. And Mika Zibanejad is riding a 6-point personal streak against Montreal, scoring 7 goals and 5 helpers in the last half dozen games for Mika. Your city, your teams, your network. Stream live Rangers games and more of your favorite New York team. Stream local with the Gotham Sports app or visit gothamsports.tv today. When we return here on the New York Rangers pregame show, we'll catch up with our guy, Dave Starman. We'll go over the goaltending matchup and get the keys to tonight's game. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
The Fantasy Football Playoffs are here, and you need Fantasy Sports Radio now more than ever. After a grinding season of injuries, waiver moves, and start-sit decisions, the finish line is in sight.
Don't plan your team around last week's results. Plan your team around this week's expectations.
But making the wrong move could mean the difference between glory or defeat.
This time of year, you got to get the player. It's okay to overpay for guys.
Don't lose because you weren't listening. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Historic hockey moments.
March 23rd, 1994, Wayne Gretzky passes his hero Gordie Howe for most goals scored.
Gretzky! He did it! The greatest goal scorer in National Hockey League history is Wayne Gretzky! Los Angeles goal, a power play goal, and the 802nd National Hockey League goal scored by number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stiller. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Dan Grosset back on the New York Rangers pregame show. We're getting closer to puck drop tonight between the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. We're also going to have a Centennial Night ceremony that you'll be able to hear as well on the New York Rangers radio network. But right now we want to head to MSG and check in with our guy. He's going to be on the call for tonight's game with Alex Faust. It is Dave Starman. Dave, always great to catch up with you, my friend, and be even better if the Rangers could get this power play going tonight. No goals with the man advantage over the last 6 games. And once again, Mike Sullivan tweaking things. You look at practice yesterday, and it's back to that 5-forward alignment in that first power play unit. And looks as if Mika Zibanejad is going to play the role of quarterback.
Hey, Dan, yeah, and talking with Mike Sullivan before the game tonight, he felt like Zibanejad was the forward that had the best awareness as to when he had to change the mindset from thinking offensively to thinking defensively. So that's one of the reasons why. And they just feel like the 5-forward unit has not had as many reps as it probably could have over the last few games because they haven't had a lot of power play time. So he would like to see this continue. And I will tell you this, having coached the penalty kill most of my life, I loved playing against 5 forwards because I felt it was just even more of a chance to attack players in positions where they were unfamiliar. It's a little different at the NHL level, though, because a guy like Mika Zibanejad's got pretty good hands, so when pucks come up high, he's got the ability to distribute. So Panarin will move down the wall a little bit, and Zibanejad will run it from up top.
You know, a couple of days has passed since that game in Chicago back on Wednesday. Rangers get blanked there on the scoreboard. Spencer Knight played some good hockey that night for Chicago here. But it was interesting, you know, Mike Sullivan and some of the other players had to field questions afterwards about, you know, if they felt maybe they took their foot off the gas a little bit, given the run of really, really tough opponents that this team has had to face in the last couple of weeks. But getting that out of their system and being able to turn the page to this Montreal club, what do you think some takeaways you draw from that game in Chicago?
I think that the number one takeaway from that game the other night was actually, I'm going to give you 2 things. Number one, you can never take any opponent lightly. Chicago had gotten pasted 13-1 over their last 2 games. It was their worst back-to-back games historically since 1951. I think the Rangers came in thinking that they came off a pretty good game, and this might be a little bit easy because Chicago's reeling. It's a mental thing. Anytime you take an opponent lightly, you're tempted to take your foot off the gas because you just think your talent's going to win, and that's not the way that this game works. So I think that was number one. Number 2 is I think they got the wake-up call they needed. And for them, I think they're getting to that point where you can't afford too many more wake-up calls, if any. Like, there are points to be had on any given night. And with the loser points being given out, with so many games going in overtime, it's hard to make hay in this league right now in terms of climbing up the standings. So the number 2 lesson is from the minute you hit the ice, like we talked about the other night, you got to be ready to go for warm-ups. They weren't the other night. I think that is lesson learned in a big way.
And you look at this opponent tonight with the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be the second time the Rangers have seen them so far this year, but not all that different from the Blue Shirts, Dave, in the sense that this is a Montreal team that's had more success away from home than they've had on home ice this year.
You know what's funny, Dan? When I was scouting for the Canadiens, I always felt like the Canadiens and the Rangers were running parallel lives. I mean, both at that era, which was about 5 years ago, neither team had a center. They both had all-world goalies, and both struggled to create offense. And, now they're both running on this parallel course. If they're great on the road, they can be inconsistent at home. The biggest difference is the Canadiens are really young. They've got 8 guys in their roster under 22. They've got guys playing on entry-level contracts that are really playing well. It reminds me a lot of when the Penguins are starting to build under Mike Sullivan and start to get into Stanley Cup territory. It was their underpaid guys that were really doing a lot for them, and it's very similar right now. But the Canadiens have some game breakers, and those are guys that can absolutely turn a game upside down.
Before we get to the goalie matchup, let me throw one more at you here. Just a couple of tweaks that we're looking at tonight, lineup-wise, with Mike Sullivan and what he decided to do. Urho Vakanainen back in on the blue line. Taylor Radish in at that one forward spot there on the fourth line. And Johnny Brodzinski and Scotty Morrow will take a seat tonight.
I don't think for Morrow it's a discipline issue. I don't think it's a physical thing. I think for Morrow it's a chance to sit upstairs and watch a game and process what he has been doing on ice for the last couple of games. Morrow's been okay. I mean, I think they'd like to see him be a little bit more gritty in some of the harder areas on the ice, but Morrow's offensive game's been fine, and he's one of those players when the puck's on his stick. He's really good. For Johnny Brodzinski, I think it's a matter of just getting Radish in and giving Brodzinski a night off. I don't think it's anything Johnny's done either. To me, anytime he's in a lineup, he seems to impact a lot of shifts.
And there could be more competition, too, certainly with Matt Rempe's return nearing closer and closer, as we know, and hopefully the likes of Adam Fox not going to be behind that much further than that. All right, Dave, let's get to tonight's goalie matchup, brought to you by the Macallan Double Cask 12-year-old single malt scotch.
Well, we'll start with Igor Shesterkin in goal for the Rangers. He was good the other night. I think he probably liked the third one back, but I thought he was really solid the other night. He gave him every opportunity to win, and as we all know, you cannot win a game when your team doesn't score. Tonight will be his 300th NHL game, and I am really excited for Jacob Fowler starting for the Montreal Canadiens. I've known this kid since he was about 12. I remember coaching against him when he was younger, watching him come up through junior hockey, and he has always been a guy that's been a little bit doubted because he was never the great athlete. He was always a good goalie, but never a great athlete, and people always wondered, was his lack of athleticism going to hurt him? Well, all it's done is get him onto a USHL team that he took to a Clark Cup championship in Youngstown. He's been on a gold medal winning team or two with Team USA at the World Junior Championships, and now he's in the NHL a whole lot faster than anybody thought. I think everybody's clamoring to make another Ken Dryden comparison. It's a little early for that, but this guy's a quality goalie who's going to be a number one in the league for a long time.
Should be a fun one to watch for sure. It's a goalie matchup brought to you by the Macallan Double Cask 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. It's the perfect balance of American and European sherry seasoned oak casks. 2 worlds, 1 Macallan, imported by Edrington Americas. Please enjoy responsibly. All right, Dave, how about a few keys tonight? What do you think it's going to take to get it done?
Well, I know the Canadiens are in town tonight, and they're honoring a lot of the 79 New York Rangers that played those Canadiens in the Stanley Cup final. This defense core in Montreal is not the 79 core, so I think they got to be pushed. And for the Rangers, I think it's a matter of really attacking the line with speed and coming in with some layers and making them defend at the line. Number 2, I think the Rangers need to do a little bit more of what we talked about the other night, and that is put pucks in areas behind opposing defenses where they can get to them. I think a lot of their dump-ins, they have moved pucks in and not been in positions where they can recover them, stay above them, and create offense off them. So to me, it's about placing to possess. Number 3, they need numbers on pucks. That was one thing that was missing to me the other night. All those 50-50s were chancy 50-50s. They got to turn into 75-25s tonight by making sure they've got numbers on the puck and being above it, especially in the offensive zone.
Dave, sounds great. Always looking forward to some Original 6 hockey. Special night at MSG. You know what it's time for?
It's time to get 2 points, Dan.
You got it, my friend. We'll be listening to you and Alex on the call. Let us pause 10 seconds. Allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 1050 ESPN, WEPN, New York.
That's all the time we have. I'll talk to you again during the first intermission, but coming up next, it will be Alex Faust and Dave Starman. They've got the call, the little Saturday night Original 6 hockey at the Garden between the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. And New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout. Enjoy the game, everybody.
This has been New York Rangers game night. Rangers hockey is coming right up on the MSG Radio Network.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the ice, playing pickup on a Saturday, or scoring the game winner in overtime. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes? Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer, the official beer sponsor of the New York Rangers. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram of protein, and 0 grams of fat per 12 ounces.
Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers, are here to help with your heat and water heating needs. Hockey season is the perfect time to replace that beast in your basement, that old, inefficient boiler, with a highly efficient Peerless boiler. It's a perfect match for homes, apartments, commercial buildings, you name it. Get all the heat you need efficiently and save on your energy bill all year long. Learn more about the entire Peerless Boiler family of products and to find a local installer near you. Just visit peerlessboilers.com and remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings during the More to Move You event. Lease a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $199 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN385912. MSRP $32,795. Zero security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
Can you access quality health insurance? Yes, New York. Can you get help enrolling from a real person? Yes, New York. Is time running out to get covered? Yes, New York. Don't risk being uninsured for 2026. Say yes to quality health insurance from New York State of Health. Enroll or renew by December 15th for January 1st coverage. Visit nystateofhealth.ny.gov or call 1-855-355-5777.
This is New York Rangers hockey.
Miller on the reload. Deeks to the outside on Draisaitl on his backhand. Darts to the forehand. Scores! The captain delivers in overtime.
This is New York Rangers hockey.
Will Cooley, full spin, enters, centers, shot, score! Artemi Panarin in full flight.
This is New York Rangers hockey.
Centering past Tavares. Oh, a big glove save by Shesterkin. Rewind that one and hang on to it.
This is New York Rangers hockey. New York Rangers hockey starts right now. Here's Dave Starman, and with the play-by-play, here's Alex Faust.
Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. It's an original six matchup. The Rangers host the Montreal Canadiens. And good evening, everybody. It is great to be back with you, Alex Faust and Dave Starman, high atop the ice here at the Garden, the fourth Madison Square Garden. We'll get into that in just a moment. The Rangers look to get back on track after a 3-0 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks on Wednesday. I'll touch on the matchup in just a bit, Dave, but tonight is a big celebration here. It's a part of the Rangers' centennial year. We are celebrating the era of the New Garden, which opened in 1968 and today remains the oldest arena in both the National Hockey League and the NBA in continuous use here today. This building holds special meaning for so many people. Dave, I'm curious to hear what is one of your first memories and maybe the most impressionable memory for you here at the Garden.
The first memory for sure, and this is a building I think a lot of us, that especially that are my age, mid upper 50s, grew up in watching games of all sorts. But I remember coming here for the first time with my dad, and it was Game 3 of the 1975 playoffs between the Islanders and the Rangers, and that was the night that J.P. Parisi scored in overtime to knock out the Rangers. So I know that's not exactly a memory Ranger fans are thrilled with, but that was the first time that I went to a hockey game at the Garden and obviously fell in love with the sport live. Another time was really cool when Lou Vero, the godfather of American hockey, was running the Greater New York City Ice Hockey League. He used to have a lot of the youth teams come here and play the morning of games at times as a special thing, and for hockey in New York City kids. And we played one morning, I think it was an 8U game, where we played somebody, I don't remember who, and then after the game, we're down by the locker room area walking out, and they were playing the Rangers, playing the Canadiens that night, and I met Ken Dryden for the first time, who was just gigantic. And he became my idol that night. And it made me even want to be a goalie even more. And it created just this incredible idolship of Dryden and helped me as a young goaltender. So those are definitely my two first ones, yeah.
Of course, the Rangers intersecting with Dryden with his time with the Canadiens. This is, of course, the fourth arena in the city bearing the name Madison Square Garden. The first was on East 26th and Madison. It opened in 1879. That building was replaced just about a decade later on the same site. The third one at 49th and 8th opened in 1925. Interestingly, the first hockey tenant there was not the New York Rangers. It was, of course, the New York Americans. The Rangers would play their first season a year later in 1926. Now, as the centennial season for the Rangers rolls on, they will again wear their centennial-themed jerseys here tonight, just as they did on Wednesday. Here's an oddity for you in a year that's been a bit of an oddity for the Rangers at home. The Rangers are 0-5, wearing their centennial-themed sweaters this season, so they'll try to get back on track after Wednesday. They got blanked by the Blackhawks. It was an effort, Dave, that Mike Sullivan criticized as lacking any urgency, and he said yesterday that the mental preparation for this team just has to be better.
And it starts with the leadership. Like, to me, the coach can come in and talk to the team about any different topic. It's when he walks out of the room, the next 3 minutes might be the most important 3 minutes of the day, because it's when the leadership group stands up and accentuates the coach's message. If that doesn't happen, you really don't have a team. I think in this group that's happening. I do think that they are a little bit challenged in terms of the fact that they don't have the same game breakers that other teams have. We all understand that. But there's never a night where you can't defend, and there's never a night where you can at least be solid enough to generate a worthy game. He talks about having a B game and not just an A game, and there can't be a difference between A and anything lower. And a B game is a game where you keep it simple, you chip pucks off walls, you go to the net when you have to, you shoot the puck, and even that really didn't happen the other night in Chicago.
Now, interestingly, the Rangers had been playing some of their best hockey before that setback on Wednesday. They had 4 games in 6 days the week prior, remember, and it was all against playoff teams from last year. They took 6 of a possible 8 points against the likes of the Dallas Stars, the Colorado Avalanche, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Ottawa Senators. So the A game, when the Rangers have it, they can play with anybody. But Mike Sullivan told us this afternoon that when the team's A game is not there, they're still struggling to find their B game. To your point, we were talking about this before we came on the air, Dave. The lack of game breakers certainly is part of that. But what are some of the ways that when you don't have your A game, when perhaps you're not at your sharpest, that you can stay within yourselves and gut out a result of some kind?
It's an excellent question. It's a conversation that I've listened to with a lot of teams. It's a conversation I've had with many teams, and that is this. When you don't have it, when your feet aren't moving, you feel like your legs are heavy, you chip pucks off the glass, you don't overhandle it. You move pucks deep into zones, into areas where you can go get them. You throw pucks at the front of the net, make goalies make saves, try to find a rebound, try to score a greasy goal. You're manufacturing more than creating. But on the other hand, on the defensive side of things, it's very similar. You don't chase. You keep things simple. You keep your sticks on the ice. And anytime there's a loose puck around, if you can get one off the windshield or sky one out the center and start again, make them come at you. You pack it in and you just play conservative. And against really good teams, that's 60 minutes of hell. But that's all you can do when you don't have your legs underneath you.
All right, so the Rangers taking on the Canadiens here tonight. Rangers 15-13-4, 34 points. They're 2 points behind Philadelphia for the final playoff spot in the East. Lineup tweaks for the Rangers here, but it's mostly to do with their bottom 6, as they will see Taylor Radish draw back into the lineup. Urho Vakanainen on the back end will pair with Matthew Robertson on the third pairing on defense for the Rangers. Did get some good news this week. We saw Matt Rempe at the practice facility. He's getting closer to a return, and Adam Fox is skating on his own. Montreal, meanwhile, just 1 point ahead of the Rangers, 16-11-3 on the season. 4th place in the Atlantic. They dealt with a lot of injuries to their forwards. Kirby Dach, Patrick Laine, Alex Newhook. Even Jake Evans has been dealing with an ankle injury, but he's back in the lineup for Montreal. Their big issue, goaltending, and that's where the big story you were talking about in the pregame show comes to focus with Jacob Fowler, the young man called up for the Canadiens here. And I don't know if they're hoping for a savior at this rate, but he's going to get another start here after getting his first NHL start the other night.
Well, he gets the big start, and he wins. He beats Pittsburgh. That's how Carey Price started his career, and believe it or not, that's how Ken Dryden started his career. So all of a sudden, it's starting to flow around. Now, I'm going to date myself and make you feel really young. I remember when Steve Pinney came in '84, and they thought Steve Pinney was the next coming as he led them into the conference finals in '86. Actually took them all the way to Stanley Cup finals. So I think you've got to be careful if you're the Montreal Canadian fan base. You got a goalie you get excited about. He's played 60 minutes. Now, that being said, this kid is special. This kid is going to be a number one in the league for a long time. He's got pedigree. There's not a bright light he's afraid of, and he is the real deal. He has played some big games at big moments and produced big wins.
All right, it's time to send it downstairs for tonight's special ceremonies. Here's the longtime TV voice of the Rangers, the Hall of Famer, Sam Rosen.
Rangers fans, welcome to the New Garden era presented by Hyundai. On February 11th, 1968, the fourth Madison Square Garden opened its doors, and it gave the Blue Shirts a new home and a new stage in the heart of New York City. Tonight, we honor and celebrate some of the great Rangers and legendary moments that solidified it as the world's most famous arena.
Esposito shoots, he scores! Esposito! Quiet. Go! It's 2-1.
Cuts to the inside, score! Picked up, they score! Anders Hedberg!
Screen shot. Maloney. On a long shot. Score! Maloney. Rips the line and shoots and scores! In front shot. Score! Mike Rogers. Stopped in front. LaRouche puts it in. He scores. It's up. Anton Stastny. Now Goulet and a save by Van Beesbrook. Marlo DeKissio. He scores.
Now, let's welcome the Blue Shirts greats who made the New Garden our home. He spent 7 seasons as a Ranger and helped the team to the playoffs in all 7. Tom Laidlaw. A member of the Rangers' 1979 Stanley Cup final team, and in 1980-81 was the team's most valuable player, Eddie Johnstone. He played 5 seasons for the Blue Shirts and led the team in scoring in 1984-85. Reijo Ruotsalainen, the Rangers captain for parts of 4 seasons, and a Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award winner, Kelly Kessio. A Vezina Trophy winner. He played 11 seasons for the Blue Shirts. The Beezer, John Van Beesbrook. arrival in New York in 1978 had a huge impact on European players coming to the NHL. A Players Player Award winner, Ulf Nielsen. His combination of speed and skill made him one of the most popular Rangers in franchise history. A 40-goal scorer, Ron Duguay. The first person born in New York City to play for the Rangers. One of the toughest, most beloved players, Nick Fotiu. His spectacular goaltending led the Blue Shirts to the 1979 Stanley Cup Final. A Hall of Fame broadcaster and my partner for 20 years, J.D. John Davidson. A Calder Trophy winner and career Ranger. He holds the team record of 7 points in a single game. Steve Vickers. He spent 11 seasons with the Blue Shirts and helped lead the team to the 1979 Stanley Cup Final. The youngest captain in Rangers history, Dave Maloney. A 14-year career Ranger, the only member of both the 1972 and 79 Stanley Cup Final teams. The center of the Bulldog line, Walt Kachuk. A 3-time NHL All-Star, he formed a great goaltending tandem with the late Eddie Jockman. Together, they won the Vezina Trophy in 1970-71. Gilles Villemure. He scored 100 goals in 4 years as a Ranger. New York native Brian Mullen. 4th most games played in franchise history. 2nd in goals, assists, and points by a Rangers defenseman, Ron Krester. He played 9 seasons with the Rangers, a member of the 1972 Stanley Cup Final team, the right wing on the Bulldog line, Billy Fairburn. A Hall of Famer, 3-time NHL first-team All-Star, Rangers captain for parts of 2 seasons, the great Brad Park. Fans, these Rangers helped turn the new Garden into a new home for the Garden faithful, setting the stage to become the world's most famous arena still to this day. Gentlemen, we salute you and we thank you for the memories. Rangers fans, thank you and enjoy the game, everyone.
Well, that was pretty awesome. Pick a name out of all of those. So many greats in franchise history, and I was trying to listen in to see who was going to get the biggest ovation there. John Davidson, for obvious reasons, at his time in the broadcast booth and becoming an icon, both as a player and as a broadcaster. But Nick Fotiu, right? Native of the 5 boroughs, and boy, one of the toughest guys to ever play this great game.
I think he was born in Staten Island, and one of the things that Ranger fans will always remember was back in the old Garden, remember the seats were all different colors, and the top level were the blue seats, and that's where the lunatics were, but that was a fun section to be in. And after warm-ups, Fotiu would come out, and he would pick up all the extra warm-up pucks, and he would throw the warm-up pucks into the blue seats for the fans up there. So it wasn't not the easy ones. Like he would launch them like an outfielder.
That's a long way to go.
I'm talking 15 pucks into the upper level before he came up. That's what made Nicky, other than his toughness, that's what made Fatiu such a beloved Ranger. Was he cared about the average Ranger fan. He cared about the common Ranger fan. He cared about the Blue Seaters because he knew the Blue Seaters were what made the Garden jump on any given night and gave the Rangers sometimes a competitive edge they might not have had that night against who they were playing.
Dave Maloney will tell you that the Rangers deserved a better fate when they faced the Montreal Canadiens in 1979. They got past a great Flyers team, and then what would be the last year before the Islanders went on their big dynasty run. The Rangers had their moments in those years, and of course it's some terrific teams. You heard some of the great names in attendance here tonight as the Rangers centennial celebration continues, and we head back down to ice level as our opening ceremonies continue. Here's the Star Spangled Banner.
Chicago, the Phantom of the Opera, and Avenue Q, Evan Harrington.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. Far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Evan Harrington.
I got to tell you, Dave, there is some serious jump in the building here today. Packed house, not a seat to be had at Madison Square Garden. The Rangers taking on the Montreal Canadiens. And when it's game time, it's Tully time. Opening puck drop is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action.
Well, one thing I remember from my time with the Habs was that no matter where we were, the fans came with them. And the Canadians travel really well. So this will be a fun night because, as you mentioned, there's a lot of jump in the building. It's almost Christmas time. It's almost vacation time. The city's alive. Manhattan's alive. This area's alive. And tonight the Garden's alive. And if you're a Ranger fan, you just hope that the energy on the bench and the energy in the room matches the excitement of the building, because the Rangers could really set this place on fire with a quick start.
Rangers beginning with their top line. JT Miller, Vincent Trocheck, Connor Sherry, Vlad Gavrikov, Braden Schneider on defense. The Canadiens will go with Zach Bolduc, Cole Caulfield, and Nick Suzuki, their top line, with Alexander Carrier and Mike Matheson on defense. The Rangers wearing their Centennial-themed jerseys, blue sweaters with the Rangers spelled out across the front, and white numbers, white trim, red hockey pants.
Might be the two nicest uniforms you'll find in the league. The Canadiens' home whites, or the road whites now, and this Centennial blue for the Rangers.
Underway at the Garden as the Canadiens send the puck into the Rangers zone to our right. Rangers skating from right to left in this opening period. Puck advanced on left wing by Vlad Gavrikov. Dribbling behind the Canadiens net. Vincent Trocheck canceled out by Matheson. Matheson jamming after the puck with Connor Sherry, who hits the deck. Matheson with a stick check, and Sherry will head to the bench in a little bit of discomfort. Might have been clipped with a high stick as he reaches towards his mouth. Puck kept in by Miller. Blue line. Dishing. Braden Schneider. Wrist shot. Saved by Fowler, the rookie, making his second NHL start for Montreal, and they'll clear the zone.
And a typical save by Fowler. Hits him right in the middle of the chest. As good a square-up goalie as you'll find.
Artemi Panarin feeding the back. Rangers making a line change. Panarin working left wing. Pass goal lines. Zibanejad in tight. Stick save by Fowler. Loose puck rolled wide on the follow-up from Lafreniere in the right circle. Played into the right wing corner. Zibanejad is on it. Stutter step. Tried to shovel it off the wall. And it's picked off by Oliver Kapanen. Fed back to the neutral zone. Rangers control possession. And then Panarin turns it over. Trying to make a pass into the attacking end. Juraj Slafkovsky feeds the back. Lane Hudson across. And then Ivan Demidov played it across the seam. Looking for Oliver Kapanen. Here is Kapanen. Left wing circle for Slafkovsky. High slot. Stick check by Lafreniere. Played to Noah Dobson, right wing, moves into the circle, centering past Slafkovsky, off sticks and cleared by the Rangers.
Like the play by Borgen in front of the net defensively just now to help prevent a goal, leaning on a stick, getting a stick tied up, boxing out well. The Rangers have struggled a little bit being outside the loop when there's been pressure in front of their net. Good job by Borgen to make sure that didn't happen.
Xander Texier walking up the near board, stripped to the puck. Brett Berard got to it, feeding Cooley behind the net. He's checked hard and separated from the puck. Canadiens will dump it in. This is one of the fastest teams in the NHL, Montreal. Igor Shesterkin out of his net to whip the puck around the boards. Icing beaten out by Will Cooley in the near corner as he tussles with Arbor Xhekaj, the lumbering defenseman for Montreal. Rimmed around to the far side. Matthew Robertson, wrist shot, looking for a stick. And it whistles wide of the cage, off the near boards, and forced back to the red line.
Good feet by the Rangers so far, getting pressure, getting shots against the young goaltender Fowler. Try to get him uncomfortable early.
Let's go Rangers, the chant up from the crowd here at Madison Square Garden. Bodied up behind the net is Alexander Carrier. Rangers on their forecheck. Jaro Hemelash in his fifth NHL game. Starts a cycle. Sam Carrick flips a puck to the point. Wrist shot is trapped by Fowler, squeezing tight with his glove off the long-range shot from Braden Schneider.
Mike Sullivan said before the game that he really wants in front of the net to lean on people. He wants a little bit more snarl, a little bit more sandpaper in front of the net. He wants to make sure that opposing forwards, when they go in there, give a little bit of skin, give an inch of skin up when they go in. And it's a big theme for them right now about going through people, not just getting to people. And early on, Borgen with a real good play there.
Face off to the left of Fowler. Rangers win it. Carrick to the point. Schneider. Gavrikov right side. His half slap shot flutters wide glove side. Picked up out of the corner by Radish. Back in the lineup. Center point. Schneider. Wrist shot blocked. Caroms to the far boards as a Montreal player loses a stick. That's Hudson. And now Carrick walks the blue line across to his left. Half wall. He's challenged by Hudson. Carrick separated from the puck. Picked up by Hemelash and passed to the far corner for Radish. Cycling for Carrick. Good shift by this Rangers fourth line. Mike Sullivan imploring them to be more of a momentum line for them. Radish battling against Dobson behind the Montreal net, spending precious time in the attacking zone. Finally, the Rangers back off and make a change.
Really good play by the Rangers down below the line. One of the things we talked about before the game was numbers on pucks, and that's what they had there. A little 2-on-1 in the corner. Were able to get a puck back until Montreal's defense was able to stabilize the zone.
Approaching the first 4 minutes played here at the Garden. Rangers with all three shots on goal so far. Montreal spending a lot of time defending. And back behind his net, Noah Dobson on an extended shift, a minute 15 plus. Zach Bolduc rolls the puck to the far corner, and Hudson checked off his feet by Trocheck. Sherry is on it, far half wall. Sherry walks up to the blue line, passes for Carson Soucy, left point, shot directed off the stick of Bolduc into the protective netting.
We talk about little things in games. There's an old expression in hockey, you can't make a bad pass to a good player. But when good players are in bad spots on the ice, any pass has to be really good. And just a moment ago, Radish came up the left wing wall, and he made a pass to to Schneider at the point, but he put it on his backhand. You put a puck on a defenseman's backhand in tight ice by the blue line, you're just asking him to get attacked. That's one of those situations where if you can't put it on their forehand clean, you're better off sending it back down the wall low and starting again, as opposed to putting a defenseman in a very exposed spot. Those little things make a big difference.
Scramble draw. Canadians push it out of the zone. Igor Shesterkin wandering out of his net. But it is handled by the Canadians in the near corner. Alexis Lafreniere jarring the puck free. Rimmed around by Montreal to Matheson left point. He passes to the left wing corner. Zach Bolduc is on it with Suzuki, the captain for Montreal. He turns it over to Carson Soucy. Rangers able to clear to the neutral zone. Let's see, Lafreniere trying to connect with Panarin on right wing. Deflected off a Montreal stick, though they can't exit their own zone. Rangers will dump it in and make another change.
Since we're talking a lot about old-time hockey history with the celebration and centennials going on, I'm going to tell you a good story about wandering goalies.
Oh, yeah.
One that played for both the Canadians and the Rangers.
Neutral zone, it's Vincent Trocheck from the red line to fire it in around the boards. Miller in after it in the left wing corner. Canceled by Matheson. Played up the far boards and banked ahead and out by Adam Engstrom in only his fourth NHL game. No further than the red line. Carried back in by Gavrikov near boards. Rolls it around to Connor Sherry. Far corner. He turns it over as Engstrom tries to walk it out. Again, the Rangers pressuring on their forecheck. They get the steal. It's Miller behind the net. Passing out wide. Sherry back to Miller on the doorstep. Feeding Sherry, high slot, chips it to the point. Schneider fakes, drifts, shoots, pad saved by Fowler, deflecting the puck to his right, and Montreal will skate it off. Here's Demidov in over the line, dropping, tapping it. Now Slavkovsky tried to feed the trailer in Dobson, deflected away by a back-checking Sherry. Hudson crossed the seam with his pass, connecting off the boards with Slavkovsky. He's knocked off his feet by Braden Schneider, and the Rangers possess.
That's playing with snarl.
Rangers turn it over on a poke check by Demidov, and a shot goes wide, stick side of Shesterkin. Montreal still without a shot on goal, and we're more than 6 minutes in.
Rangers really good on top of the puck here. Montreal's had a couple good looks in front of the net. Haven't got anything to the front of that because the Rangers doing a nice job boxing out and protecting above the crease here.
Dumped in by the Canadians to the left wing corner. Rangers dig it out of there and exit the zone. Noah Lava, chip and chase. Rangers completing a change behind him. Lava lowers the shoulder against Jacka, going to work on the forecheck. Kamalash settles the puck after it hopped off his stick, banks it off the near boards, beats his man to the spot. Kept in by Vakanainen, tried to force a pass down the slot off sticks. Rangers keep the zone. They'll back off and start a change. Short shifts seems to be the theme of the day here, Dave, as the Rangers try to roll their lines and keep the pressure going.
Rangers have been really guilty this season. This is with a lot of teams. The Rangers have been pretty guilty, especially the top line, overextending a little bit, which has gotten them into some defensive trouble.
Montreal the takeaway. Neutral zone. Here's Brendan Gallagher moving in. Right wing. Shot attempt blocked by Vakanainen. Carrier across to Matheson. Left point. Rolls the puck around the boards. Soucy gets a piece. It's batted at by Vakanainen. Chipped up the far boards. And Lafreniere lifts it back to the red line.
Great job by Vakanainen at his own end to kill a play. You and I were talking about that earlier, and that was a great example of it. As he goes into the corners with a good long stick and make sure the puck gets knocked off a blade before it gets into a dangerous area.
Vakanainen first game since November 26th. Healthy scratches last 7. Artemi Panarin, bank pass, left point in the attacking zone with Soucy. Panarin carries it out to the blue line, does a full spin, hesitates, deeks, draws to the middle. Panarin fakes, shoots, blocked. Soucy going after a loose puck, attacking the net and activating down the left wing boards. Couldn't get there in time. Zibanejad banks it off the end boards. He finds Lafreniere there. High cycle now with Panarin. Right wing, Panarin driving wide. Centering Zibanejad. Stick check by Jake Evans. And the puck forced to the far corner.
Love the idea. Would really have loved seeing Panarin take that right to the net, because he probably would have gotten pulled down, and he would have put a big, juicy rebound off the pads of Fowler with Zibanejad standing there.
8.5 to go, first period. Great open ice hit by Miller in the neutral zone. Creates a steal for the Rangers, though he couldn't enter with possession. Stood up by Caulfield, and a break here for Bolduc. He moves in with a shot, a wrist shot high and wide. Glove side of Shesterkin. Rangers skated back to the neutral zone and flip it back in on a back pass. Montreal will touch the puck in an offside position. Nick Suzuki had yet to tag up, and we reach a stoppage in play with 11:06 to go in the first period. The Rangers and the Canadiens with no score here at Madison Square Garden will step aside. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is Sirius XM NFL Radio.
Hi, this is Bob Popper from Airing It Out. Week 15 is here, and we have some huge matchups that will impact the playoff picture.
When people say, well, who do you like? I'm like, I don't know that there's a dominant team right now.
The Bills and the Patriots, the Lions and the Rams, and the Chargers visit the Chiefs.
Touchdown, Kansas City! Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
After scoring 4 goals in Game 38 for his 45th on the season, on December 30th, 1981, the great one Wayne Gretzky and his Edmonton Oilers hosted the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 39 of the season.
Gretzky, will he shoot? He does! He scores! Wayne Gretzky's 50th goal in 39 games!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
New Year's Day, January 1st, 2008, at the home of the NFL's Buffalo Bills, Ralph Wilson Stadium.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Buffalo Sabres are set to play despite the snow that's been falling all morning, and more than 73,000 are here to witness it. In the game they're calling the Winter Classic.
Penguins win! Snow flying in their faces as they celebrate.
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review
with Mick Kern.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, listen, if 19 times I come out and make a good play, and the 20th it winds up in the net, we're way ahead of the game here, Toe. So, let's get with the program. That was sort of along the lines of what Plante told the coach, and it created the start of the goaltenders coming out and playing pucks.
Of course, Jacques Plante was at the third Madison Square Garden where he got hit by Andy Bathgate's slap shot. Of course, donned that protective mask for the very first time. It changed hockey history. Zach Bolduc chasing down the puck on the forecheck for Montreal. Centering pass off sticks for the Rangers. Recovered by Miller. And he'll find the escape valve in Braden Schneider. Rangers bank it ahead off the near boards. Lane Hudson on the regroup for Montreal. Back in his own zone. A cross-ice pass is picked off by Sherry. Left side. He'll move in. And a wrist shot blocked out of play by the long reach of Noah Dobson.
When you take a look at the Canadiens' top 4, between Matheson, Carrier, Hudson, Dobson, that's a lot of speed, that's a lot of hands, and it's a lot of ability to generate offense. And if you're the Rangers, one of the things that we talked about as a key to the game, it's important to push on those players and put those players in spots where they can't complete that little soft pass, short pass, 5-10 feet, where they can then get it back and gain some speed. So it's part of it is getting in the way, and part of it is taking away lanes to slow them down and slow their speed.
Carried in on right wing for Montreal by Demidov. Cycling with Slavkovsky. Big body former first overall pick. Centering pass picked off by Zibanejad in the mid-slot. And they'll lead it on left wing for Panarin. Centering pass Lafreniere in full stride. Directed it back to the corner for Zibanejad. Now Lafreniere, a half turn. Passing to the point. Will Borgen, a wrist shot deflected wide to the near boards. Rolled back behind by Soucy, picked off by Kapanen. Montreal clears to the red line. Borgen is there to knock down a puck before the Canadiens could chip it deep.
Borgen has just shown all season long a steady pair of hands, really good hand-eye, and a lot of puck composure under pressure, especially when he's on his own side of the red line.
Here is Morgan, who has 3 game-winning goals as well for the Rangers this season. Tried to hoist it deep. Montreal gloved it down their own line, shot it well high of the Rangers' net as they entered the zone. And now it's Noah Lava with a cross-ice feed. Berard on left wing rubs off the hit from Engstrom. And the puck pushed back to the red line. Berard on the forecheck, pursuing in the Montreal zone against Jacki, the much larger of the two. Rangers barreling in. Will Cooley running into Engstrom, and the Rangers get the steal. It's Lava to Robertson, wrist shot, right pad save by Fowler. Rebound collected by Montreal, and they'll clear.
Every shot that Fowler has stopped has hit him almost square in the middle of his body, and it's the gift that he has as a goalie, having watched him since his junior days. He's got an amazing ability to square up, and a lot of pucks wind up hitting him almost equidistant between his two shoulders because of how well he gets his body positioned to read off the release.
David Fowler, the reigning Mike Richter Award winner, the nation's top collegiate goaltender at Boston College. He is still only 21 years old in his first full professional season.
So I joked with somebody. I said to somebody today, I said, he won the Richter last year, didn't he? They said, you should know that you voted for him. You know what? You're right.
Well, at least he got he got your vote in the award.
Went and checked my ballot. I certainly did vote for him.
Montreal stuck deep in their own zone. Rangers pressuring on the forecheck. 8 minutes to go, first period. Rangers and Canadiens with no score. Montreal still does not have a shot on goal. A centering pass from Suzuki out of the near corner. Didn't connect with Caulfield down the slot. Matheson for Bolduc. There's the first shot on goal. Blocker saved by Shesterkin off the one-timer from the center point. Sherry gloves, red line, plays it off his stick to Trocheck. Left wing, dangles behind his back. Rubs off the hit from Carrier. Now the puck along the kick plate in the near corner. The Rangers go to work along the boards. Trocheck flips it out of the corner. Sherry checked off his feet by Matheson. And Matheson outlets for Caulfield up the left wing. Canadiens enter. Caulfield across the seam for Suzuki. Looking to the back door, they score. Redirected home by Bolduc on the net front drive. And the Montreal Canadiens, on just their second shot on goal, have the opening tally here tonight.
Why did that happen quick? Montreal gains a line without a whole lot of pressure on them, and what a pass from the right wing side to the front of the net, and Bolduc just hammers it down. Montreal got out of their own end quick, and they went north fast. It was one long pass, spread the ice out. The attack filled some lanes, and Caulfield with a really nice pull-up at the offensive line on the left wing side. He threw it cross ice, and when he did, it really opened things up. Suzuki coming down the right wing side, bottom of the circle, saw pressure going to the front of the net, and Bolduc put a stick down. Suzuki hit him with a bullseye.
Here come the Rangers into the attacking zone. Lafreniere, cross-ice pass intended for Zibanejad, picked off. And outletted by the Canadiens, cross-ice just in front of Demidov. Montreal trying to crash into the forecheck. Rangers get to it. Stretch pass. It's Panarin at the attacking line. Applying the brakes. Centering for Zibanejad, who redirected it wide. He was crashing the back door. Zibanejad will pick up this puck behind the net. Feed Panarin near boards. Panarin stick handling, faking, poke free by Hudson. Canadiens are out with it, but they need a change, and Hudson will dump it deep.
One of the things that makes the greats is the ability to break the unwritten and written rules on the ice. Panarin just shy of the offensive blue line, trying to dangle through a couple of players. You almost have to trust his hands that he can do it. He didn't on that one, and it almost turned around on him.
Rangers outlet, left wing, Lava. Checked by Engstrom. Lava off his feet as he applies the brakes. Fed it to the front. Swiped away by the Canadiens. They're 2-on-1 the other way. Texier and Anderson. Texier saucer pass. Anderson bats it wide. He was defended by Schneider. Schneider will take the puck free out of the far corner. Recovered by Anderson. He flips it back behind. And it dribbles to the near corner. Lava lost out. Texier. Another saucer pass, this time with Carrier, leaving it for Jacki. They score! Arbor Jacki with a seeing eye shot. Tough to tell if it changed direction. He let loose a wrist shot for the blue line. And as he leads the receiving line back, it appears that it went cleanly through. Jacki has given Montreal a 2-0 lead.
I do think this went right through, and there were a million bodies that this thing could have hit, and it didn't. Some nights, that puck hits a shoulder and doesn't go anywhere near the net. Other nights, it doesn't. Montreal was just better, winning battles, picking up sticks, and then they create a play where they just throw him to the net through an open seam, and there was a great battle going on in front of the net, and Anderson got inside Schneider to tie up the eyes of Shesterkin, allowing the goal to happen.
Just like that, the Canadiens have a 2-0 lead. Goals from Zach Bolduc and Arbor Chekot. And this one hits the iron, as the Canadiens were looking for more on a quick trigger on the attacking zone. Puck is tossed out of play by the Rangers as they try to get the puck deep. Montreal Canadiens, after being blanked without a shot on goal for the first 13 minutes of this game, have erupted. It's actually the first 12 minutes of this game. They've erupted with 2 goals in short succession of one another to take a 2-0 lead over the Rangers. We'll step aside. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
Every unforgettable Rangers moment is built on passion, precision, and legacy. The same qualities that define London Jewelers. For 100 years, London Jewelers has helped generations celebrate life's biggest wins, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones that last forever. Because true brilliance isn't just seen, it's felt, shared, and passed on. From luxury jewelry to fine timepieces, London Jewelers is where moments become memories that last a lifetime. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of excellence. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 6 locations.
Ready to let the good times cruise? Then you need a Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, a proud partner of the New York Rangers. Made with real iced tea, real vodka, and no bubbles. It's one wildly refreshing drink. Stop by the Riverside Inn in Cranford. Enjoy a Sun Cruiser at Da Dive, the Riverside Inn, New Jersey's #1 dive bar. Sun Cruiser Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. All nutritionals based on 12-ounce serving. Please drink responsibly.
Hockey season is the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. 2-0 Montreal over the Rangers. Nick Suzuki, moments after the second Montreal goal, hit the crossbar. And that was awfully close to making it 3-zip. What a flurry here for Montreal. And off the draw, Rangers won the drop of the puck. Bolduc scoots it ahead on left wing. He'll pick it up in the attacking zone. Bolduc starting a cycle with Suzuki along the far boards. Feeding the point. Matheson, a half-speed one-timer. Flutters wide. Walked out by Caulfield. Shut down by Shesterkin with his left pad. Rotated to Matheson's center point. Into the skates of Carrier with his pass. He'll roll it back behind. Bolduc gets position on Susi, enabling Suzuki to pick up the puck. He'll feed the point. Matheson, wrist shot deflected wide by Bolduc. Pinching is Carrier, feeding the opposite corner. Suzuki across the seam. His pass jumps the stick of Caulfield. He'll tie up now with Miller. Puck comes free. Montreal recovers it. Bolduc chips it to the far boards. Suzuki is there, cycling once again with Caulfield. Back up top for Matheson. And Montreal having their way with the Rangers right now in the attacking zone until it's finally shut down by Trocheck along the far boards, separating his man for the puck.
Rangers first line pinned in their own zone as the Canadiens top line really went to work. Tremendous amount of speed, used the perimeter, couldn't get the puck to the inside as much as they wanted, but they made the Rangers defend.
There comes Montreal once again. Long-range wrist shot, far boards by Joe Veleno is gloved by Shesterkin for a whistle at 4:14 left in the first period. The Rangers trailing the Canadiens 4-2. Tune in to the Rangers' first intermission report. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealers. 4:14 left in the first. 2-0 Montreal over the Rangers, and New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York. And the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Driving in a Honda Wonderland.
It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer on a fun-to-drive new Accord, Civic, CR-V, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or a 2026 CR-V, a 4.99% APR on a 2026 Civic, or a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
Here's a club you want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings good up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey! Tell them more Jew Irish whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons Inc., New York, New York.
Alex Faust, Dave Starman here with you. 4:14 left in the first. Rangers trail the Canadiens 2-0.
The one thing, if you're the Rangers, that you hang your hat on is that for the first 13 minutes of the game, you were really good. And you're going to have to find that in period number 2 and the rest of period number 1 before Montreal skates this game out of range. Now, remember, the Canadiens did this to the Rangers in Montreal, using their speed to blow open a game in period number 1, taking a 2-0 lead. The Rangers managed to come back, get the game on their terms, and win it.
Yeah, that was back on October 18th. And the Rangers are 6-0-2 in their last 8 games against Montreal. They'll have to come back from behind once again. Canadiens win the attacking zone face-off. Pass on right wing and Dobson's wrist shot. Shesterkin backpedaling into the net to try to get leverage off the near post. He wound up knocking the net off. So the Rangers will be unable to change here. Let's see. They are going... No, the Rangers had a couple of players that were trying to come over the boards to make a defensive zone change. Montreal can here as they get the net back on its mooring.
And if you're Mike Sullivan, what you're saying is, even though you know you can't change, I didn't realize what happened. I didn't see it. All I did was hear the whistle. I called for a change. That's my bad. There are always ways where you could buy a few extra seconds.
So it'll be Mika Zibanejad on this face-off. Far dot to the right of Shesterkin against Joe Veleno. Montreal staying with the same matchup here. Their fourth line. And Zibanejad will get kicked out of the draw.
I was coaching a junior game once on an icing, and I went to go make a line change, and the official said, you can't change. I said, why not? He goes, it was icing. I said, I didn't see that. He goes, are you watching the game? I said, apparently not.
Montreal wins the face-off back. It's Hudson flashing across from left to right. Carries the puck into the near corner. Rotates it for Gallagher and up the far boards for Evans. He'll smack it back to the far corner. Jumps the stick of Veleno. Zibanejad to the loose change. Flipped up the far boards. Lafreniere ties up with Hudson. The puck worked free. Hudson centers. Evans scores! Pulls the trigger. High stick side. And beats Shesterkin up top. Jake Evans with a snipe to make it 3-0 Montreal.
Former star at the University of Notre Dame, Jake Evans, who was a Canadiens draft pick and one of their great success stories in terms of his development, picks up a puck on the left wing faceoff dot and uses the D as a screen. He used Robertson as a screen, and he launched one past the shoulder of Shesterkin, short side, for about 25 feet. But it's another example of the Canadiens winning a battle on the wall and quickly moving the puck into a scoring area, catching the Rangers a little flat-footed off the battle. My opinion, and I'm not hanging this on Shesterkin, but my opinion, you got to change the goalies right now. You need something to wake you back up.
Canadiens have had the last 7 shots on goal in the game. 3 goals against on those 7 shots. And what was a celebratory, festive atmosphere here at Madison Square Garden, the air has been let out of that balloon. The Rangers trailing 3-0 with under 3.5 to go in the first period. Rangers with the puck, attacking zone, centering past Berard. Wrist shot for the mid-slot block. Berard recovers the puck, feeds Gavrikov left side. Pass deflected wide by Lava. Penalty on Montreal. Shesterkin to the bench for the extra attacker. Here's Will Cooley walking out from the goal line, exchanging with Gavrikov. Now down low for Berard. Fan on the wrist shot, and it's touched up by Hudson. Interference will be the penalty. And so the Rangers, at the very least, after conceding 3 in a row, will go to the man advantage.
Montreal penalty number 48, 2-minute minor for interference.
So Lava, getting to the front of the net as quickly as he did and entrenching himself in there, forced Hudson to take the penalty. It was Cooley. Cooley gets in the front of the net, and Hudson's doing everything he can to get the bigger Cooley out of there. Finally pulls Cooley down as the shot was coming in. So Cooley's work ethic draws the penalty, and that is something the Rangers desperately need more of, those plays in hard areas to draw penalties.
So the Rangers, who had struggled in that department all season long in terms of drawing penalties, they get one here, and they're on the power play trying to find their form again with these 4 forwards without Adam Fox. It's Mika Zibanejad working the point, who has moved up there in practice this week. JT Miller, right side to Zibanejad, a one-timer for the high slot, missed wide. Panarin picks it up, curls, left circle, wrist shot, missed the target. Karam's off the back glass. Zibanejad holds it in. Mike Sullivan saying he likes Zibanejad's defensive conscience should something go awry. Now Panarin, left circle, feeds the point. Zibanejad back to Panarin. Panarin, stutter step, seam pass Miller, right wing. Now Zibanejad, touch pass Panarin, one-timer, blocked by Kapanen. Loose puck up for grabs, left circle, and it's picked up by Matheson. He'll sling it down ice.
That wasn't bad. Rangers moved the puck around with some pretty good efficiency and had a couple of real good looks at the net.
Oh, here's Panarin dancing in, left wing, centers Lafreniere, tossed it back across the green, and it's all the way out of the zone. Panarin to pick it up as the Rangers re-enter. It's Trocheck in the corner. Shouldered off the puck by Matheson. Miller recovers along the backboards. Indirectly feeds Zibanejad. Center point shot. Tip. Save by Fowler. He traps the puck with his glove on top of his left pad and hangs on with 1:50 to go in the first period and 50 seconds left in the Rangers power play.
One of the things that's plagued the Rangers lately on the power play, especially with the 5-forward unit, has been the entries. They've lost a lot of first draws. They've had to go back and get pucks. There are a couple of power plays in Chicago where the first unit didn't get a really good look with eyes up time in possession until they were 1 minute and 10 seconds in. By then it's too late, because if you don't do anything then, now you're out of gas and you got to change. This is a little bit better. So you got the puck moving around, a couple of good looks at the net.
Second unit over the boards. Vlad Gavrikov quarterbacking with Scott Morrow a healthy scratch here tonight. And the Rangers win the faceoff to Gavrikov blue line. He'll play catch with Cooley. Fire a wrist shot, center point. Spilled by Fowler off his chest and pushed wide of the net. Fowler's without a stick in that big net front collision. It's jump free by Evans. Shorthanded. He has a breakaway. Evans caught from behind. He put the shot wide. Great back check by Gavrikov, saving a potential scoring chance.
And that bouncing puck off Gavrikov's stick that caused the breakaway, that wasn't Gavrikov's fault. That was just a hand grenade that he had to deal with.
Jack Guy with a stick check on Sherry, knocked it free. Rangers recover. Cooley driving wide, centering pass. Laba scores! He squeaks it under the pad of Fowler. A workmanlike effort for the Rangers to get the puck down low, and Laba at the top of the blue paint finished it off. The Rangers with a power play goal are on the board. It's 3-1.
Oh, give Gavrikov a ton of credit for tracking all the way back to catch Jake Evans on that breakaway. Then the Rangers come back the other way. They hold the puck in at the top of the zone on the right side. What'd they do? They drove the net with 3. They hung him there with 4. And Laba poked the rebound. Cooley, great job at driving the net. They get a puck loose. Fowler with a really good stop. And Laba just hung in there. Sherry, Radish along the top of the crease. It's the first time tonight the Rangers have put numbers over the Habs net front, and they score a goal because of it. And now the second unit has got a power play goal. That creates some interesting thought process on the next power play.
No doubt. And for the first time since Adam Fox's injury, the Rangers have scored on the power play. Stretch pass. Panarin fires right on. Penalty coming up. Could be a penalty shot. He was caught from behind, hooked, and there's the point to center ice. Penalty shot for Artemi Panarin off a stretch pass for the Rangers zone.
No doubt about it. This is a great call. The Rangers got hosed the other night on one of these. This is a great call. Marty St. Louis looking up in a little bit of disbelief. If you get the shot off, it doesn't matter. That's not part of the parameter. The parameter...
New York, number 10 has been awarded a penalty shot for holding infraction by Montreal, number 53.
All that matters was the ability to get a clean shot on net impeded by a player from behind. That's it. So if you get the shot, you get the shot, it doesn't matter. That fit the parameters, and that's a great call.
So Artemi Panarin will pick up the puck here. The Rangers looking to get back within one. An opportunity on a penalty shot. He picks up the puck at center ice, takes it wide, left wing, cuts in, Panarin, DEC shoots, scores! Artemi Panarin lights the lamp on the penalty shot, and the Rangers are within one.
Oh, baby, what a goal. What a goal off of a great effort to draw this. Panarin comes in on the left wing side. He works himself towards the middle. He's a right shot. Came down the left side, cut to the middle. Fowler had him. He was in a great position. Only a player with the hands of Artemi Panarin scores that goal because he needed about 3 inches. That's all he had, and he hit it.
The Garden is alive. A much-needed push by the Rangers after falling behind 3-0. They dominated the first 12 minutes of this game, drew a penalty, scored on the power play, and another quick strike with Panarin getting a breakaway, earning a penalty shot, and pocketing the goal. For Panarin, it's his 11th of the year, and the Rangers now trail 3-2 in the final minute of the first period.
By the way, outstanding job by you calling for the penalty shot immediately. You knew it.
Rangers take the puck in their own zone. Sherry, stretch pass for Trocheck at the attacking line. Stutter step, slithers out wide. He's marked by Matheson on the back check. A back pass, Shesterkin out of his net. He fires it into his own bench. That's one way to take off the heat, as he had a Montreal player bearing down on him. Shesterkin all the way out of the top of the circles to get to that loose puck. And we have a stoppage with 19 seconds left of the period.
Well, I got to tell you, if you're Trocheck, I think you got to drive the net there. You're coming in on Matheson, who's a pretty good defenseman, but you've got the outside edge. If you turn the corner on him and you get your shoulder, your left shoulder, inside of his, he's now has to turn and make contact, which potentially creates a penalty situation, or you slide off him and you go to the net. I think the Rangers need more of that. Continue to draw penalties.
Face off to the right of Shesterkin. Rangers win it back. Scaled up the far glass by Borgen. Trying to catch Sam Carrick. Bouncing puck. Montreal line. They'll take control. Feet of the head. Up the near boards. Icing. Borgen and Evans in a foot race. Borgen beat Evans to the spot. And then Evans shoved him along. We'll see if there's anything extra that's handed out here. There might be a penalty.
Gavrikov.
New York penalty number 44 is a 2-minute minor for tripping.
This is a dumb penalty. This is a good player making a bad decision. Gallagher comes up. He's on the right wing side. He comes towards Gavrikov. Gavrikov puts the stick out. None of them seen on a replay. You know what? It's not a great call. The contact, you necessarily need the contact, but I take it back. That was not as dumb a penalty as I thought it was. That was not a great call. So I apologize to Vlad.
Yeah, it looked like Anderson was just kind of leaning over and went down rather easily, as it were, right?
Good draw. I mean, listen, we're right by Broadway, right?
Yeah,
you might as well act.
Now, because it was an icing, well, I guess it gets negated because of the power play here.
Does,
so,
yeah.
you know, the face-off is going to be in the attacking zone. That's an unfortunate break here for the Rangers because they would have had the territory. Instead, it's a defensive zone draw. They win it back, and it's hammered around and down by Braden Schneider. That'll take us to the end of an eventful first period, dominated by the Rangers in the first 12 minutes. Montreal didn't have a shot on goal, and then they had the next 7. They scored 3 unanswered, but the Rangers pushed back, and they showed some grit. They have a power play goal and a penalty shot goal, and it's 3-2 Montreal after 20 minutes of play.
It's crazy first period. Rangers came out like a house on fire. Where you have to give them credit is they found a way to get to the end of the period in a one-shot game, because at some point this game looked like Montreal was just going to run away with it. First, the Rangers had their chances. Fowler was great. Let the Canadiens get their feet underneath them. And then Montreal took the game over. As that was happening, Rangers on the power play, it's the second unit that scored. I think that is a great step for that second unit. They deserve, with what I've seen the last couple of games, a little bit more ice time on the power play.
Well, and frankly, I think there's an open question as to whether there should be a traditional defenseman quarterbacking the power play, and we'll see if that plants a seed of potentially changing the thought process for Mike Sullivan and company.
Because we always keep in mind, defensemen are better at seeing the offensive zone from the blue line. Granted, forwards can come up high and play in that high ice above the circles, but defensemen are used to having the game in front of them. It makes their decision-making a little quicker.
All right, so a lot of good things towards the end of the period for the Rangers happening, and so they have come back from down 3-0 to make it a 3-2 game. Montreal in front after 20 minutes of play. Stay tuned for the first intermission report, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Dan Grassa in our Hudson Square studios right after this. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Your soul may feel broken today.
Joel Osteen.
But your soul can be restored.
Salvation.
Healing will come. Joy will come. Peace will come.
Be inspired.
Forces that have held you back are being broken off of your emotions, your attitudes, your thoughts. You are not going to live wounded. He's restoring your soul.
Joel Osteen Radio, Sirius XM 128, and on the Sirius XM app.
Historic hockey moments.
March 2nd, 1993, Winnipeg hosts Quebec, where Jets forward Timo Solani is 3 goals off the pace of Mike Bossy's rookie record.
Timo Solani breaks it. He scores! Ladies and gentlemen, as you're all aware, that goal by Timo Solani establishes a new NHL record for goals in one season by a rookie.
The Finnish Flash's record-breaking goal came in his 64th NHL game, and he would finish his rookie season with an overall 76 goals.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
1992-93, the inaugural season for the Tampa Bay Lightning, had not just hockey fans, but the sporting world paying attention to the Bolts, thanks to a 5'7" goalie from Quebec who was trying out for the team.
The first woman to play professional hockey. There she is taking the ice. Manon Treon.
It was a publicity stunt, they said, orchestrated by Tampa's general manager, Phil Esposito.
I'd be a liar to say that I wasn't using it for publicity, but the fact is she's not bad.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. During the More to Move You event, lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM839072. MSRP $26,690. Zero security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
This is your local Tri-Honda dealer's New York Rangers intermission report. Now, here's Dan Grassa on the MSG Radio Network.
And it's time now for the Rangers' first intermission report. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. Dan Grassa with you, 20 minutes in the books at Madison Square Garden, and it was quite the eventful opening 20 minutes of this one tonight. It's the Montreal Canadiens with a 3-2 lead over the New York Rangers, but the Rangers making this one a lot better on their fans over the last couple of minutes of the period, because it was the visitors who jumped out to a 3-0 lead in this one, scoring goals on 3 of their first 7 shots, first 2 goals on their first 2 shots of this one. Zach Bolduc, his 7th of the season at 12:41, got the Canadiens off and running from Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, and that was Montreal's first shot on goal of the night. So think about it, almost 13 minutes into this game before the Canadiens registered a shot, but it was Bolduc who beats Igor Shesterkin, his first goal in 8 games. Montreal, though, would then follow it up shortly after. 89 seconds later, Arbor Jacki with his first of the season at 14:10. Alexander Carrier and Alexander Teixeira with the assists, and traffic in front of Igor Shesterkin, and Jacki gets it past the Ranger netminder. So as we said, 2 goals in 89 seconds for the visitors. And Jacki, his last goal was December 20th of last season, his first point in 25 games. Rangers reeling a little bit, and it would only get more difficult for them as Jake Evans would then beat Igor at 16-18 to give the visitors a 3-0 lead. Evans' 5th of the season, Lane Hudson and Joseph Valeno with the assists. So Montreal, 3 goals and 7 shots on goal, 3 of them finding the back of the net in just 3 minutes and 37 seconds. So how would the Rangers respond? Well, Lane Hudson called for interference at 16:59, so the Rangers get the first power play of the game. A power play that had been struggling, of course, coming in. No goals in the previous 6 with the man advantage, but the Rangers finally break that drought, and Noah Laba, the recipient, his 5th of the season at 18:49 in the power play from Will Cooley and Connor Sherry, getting the Rangers on the board in just a physical, hard-working, grinding goal for Laba. Traffic in front of the net, finds a way to poke one home past the Montreal netminder, Jacob Fowler. Laba's first goal in 8 games. But the Rangers were not done, because Noah Dobson, moments later, as Artemi Panarin was making a charge to the net, all over the Ranger forward, and the Rangers would be awarded a penalty shot. So Panarin, his first career attempt at a penalty shot, gets that one to go, beating Fowler for his 11th of the season at 19:08, his 3rd goal in 5 games, his 7th point in the last 5. And with Panarin converting there, that was the 3rd successful penalty shot in the National Hockey League this year. So a brand new hockey game after that crazy 20 minutes. Vlad Gavrikov did get called for tripping, though, at 19:52 of the opening period. So the Rangers will begin that second period having to fend off 1 minute and 52 seconds of power play time. But they certainly will begin the second period feeling a lot better about themselves compared to how things were trending, certainly in that opening 20 minutes, as they are now down just 3-2 after falling behind 3-0 earlier in that period. Shots on goal were 10-7 in favor of the Rangers, but it is the Canadiens who have a 3-2 lead after 20 minutes. Still more to do here on the Tri-Honda Dealers New York Rangers First Intermission Report. When we come back, we'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard on a busy Saturday around the National Hockey League. And New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
Can you access quality health insurance? Yes, New York. Can you get help enrolling from a real person? Yes, New York. Is time running out to get covered? Yes, New York. Don't risk being uninsured for 2026. Say yes to quality health insurance from New York State of Health. Enroll or renew by December 15th for January 1st coverage. Visit nystateofhealth.ny.gov or call 1-855-355-5777.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. Fanatics experience.
Attention Rangers fans, let's talk winning off the ice. Thrivewell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At Thrivewell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, Thrivewell offers private state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from our highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThrivewellInfusion.com. That's ThrivewellInfusion.com. Saving lives drip by drip.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings during the More to Move You event. Lease a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $199 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN385912. MSRP $32,795. Zero security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the ice, playing pickup on a Saturday, or scoring the game winner in overtime. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes? Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra. Superior Light Beer, the official beer sponsor of the New York Rangers. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer. St. Louis, Missouri, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram of protein, and 0 grams of fat per 12 ounces.
Peerless Boilers. The world's best built boilers are here to help with your heat and water heating needs. Hockey season is the perfect time to replace that beast in your basement, that old, inefficient boiler, with a highly efficient Peerless Boiler. It's a perfect match for homes, apartments, commercial buildings, you name it. Get all the heat you need efficiently and save on your energy bill all year long. Learn more about the entire Peerless Boiler family of products and to find a local installer near you. Just visit peerlessboilers.com and remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Dan Grasso back on the Tri-Honda Dealers New York Rangers first intermission report, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. 3-2 is our score at the end of 20 minutes. The Canadiens on top of the New York Rangers. Zach Bolduc, his 7th at 12:41 to open the scoring. Arbor Jackeye at 14:10, his first of the season to make it 2-0 Montreal. Jake Evans, his 5th at 16:18, gave the visitors a 3-0 lead before Noah Laba got the Rangers on the board at 18:49, his 5th of the season on the power play from Cooley and Sherry. And then Artemi Panarin with a penalty shot, his 11th goal of the season at 19:08 to bring the home team within 1. Rangers fans, don't miss a moment off the ice. Catch ESPN New York on YouTube for all the New York sports talk you love. Weekdays 6A to 7P. Subscribe now and stay locked in. ESPN New York is on YouTube. A busy Saturday on the out-of-town scoreboard around the National Hockey League. Earlier this afternoon, it was the Devils defeating Anaheim by a score of 4-1. Jake Allen with 30 saves. Jersey has won 2 of the last 3. Joel Eriksson Ek knotted the game winner with 24 seconds left in regulation, lifting Minnesota over Ottawa 3-2. The Wild have now won 3 in a row. No Quinn Hughes today for Minnesota, not yet ready to make his debut as the newest member of the Minnesota Wild. In Pittsburgh, the San Jose Sharks trailed 5-1 in the third period. They come from behind and defeat the Penguins in overtime 6-5. John Klingborg, his 2 goals, including the game winner. San Jose has won 3 of their last 4. Out on the island, the Islanders defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-2 in a shootout. New York has won 6 of their last 7. In progress right now, midway through the second period, the Maple Leafs have a 2-1 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. The Philadelphia Flyers have a 2-1 lead over the Carolina Hurricanes midway through period number 2. They're in the second period in Columbus. The Blue Jackets and the Golden Knights are knotted up at 1 apiece. They're just about to start the second in Winnipeg, where the Jets have a 2-0 lead on the Washington Capitals. Just about to drop the puck in Chicago, where the Blackhawks will play host to the Red Wings. Detroit has won 4 of 6. Chicago has dropped 3 of their last 4. Elsewhere, Florida visits Dallas. The Panthers have won 3 of their last 4. Dallas has points in 11 of their last 12. It'll be Colorado home for Nashville. The Predators have won 4 of the last 5. Avalanche with points in 21 of their last 22 games. And it'll be the Kings hosting the Calgary Flames later tonight out west. The Flames have won 3 of 4. Kings with points in 3 consecutive games. Holiday cheer starts with new gear. Make the most wonderful time of the year even better and grab gifts that'll make every Blue Shirts holiday. Shop Rangers gear by heading to shop.msg.com/Rangers. Time now for this date in New York Rangers history. On December the 13th, 1991, Mark Messier scoring his 15th career hat trick as the Rangers beat the Washington Capitals 5-3. This was the second of 6 career regular season hatties in New York. 1 year later, on December the 13th, 1992, the Rangers beat the Canadiens 10-5 at Madison Square Garden, and this marked the first time New York scored double-digit goals against Montreal in 535 games over 67 years since joining the NHL in 1926. It was a record-setting night for Alex Kovalev, who became the youngest Ranger to get 4 points in 1 game. Kovalev was 19 years old and had 1 goal and 3 assists. That is your look at this date in New York Rangers history. So the Blue Shirts getting a bit closer with that late fury. They are now within 3-2 after 1 period of play. When the Rangers trail after 1 period this year, they're 2-6-3. Montreal 10-3 when leading after 20 minutes. And this has been the Rangers' first intermission report, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. I will talk to you again during the second intermission. Coming up next, though, we'll send it back to Alex Faust and Dave Starman. They've got period number 2 for you, with the Canadiens leading the New York Rangers by a score of 3-2. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York in the MSG Radio Network.
This has been your local Tri-Honda dealer's New York Rangers Intermission Report. Blue Shirts Hockey is next. The Fantasy Football Playoffs are here, and you need Fantasy Sports Radio now more than ever. After a grinding season of injuries, waiver moves, and start-sit decisions, the finish line is in sight.
Don't plan your team around last week's results. Plan your team around this week's expectations.
But making the wrong move could mean the difference between glory or defeat.
This time of year, you got to get the player. It's okay to overpay for guys.
Don't lose because you weren't listening. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app. Historic hockey moments.
The longest Game 7 in Stanley Cup playoff history, the New York Islanders versus the Washington Capitals at the Capitol Center, Saturday, April 18th through to Sunday, April 19th, 1987, the game known as the Easter Epic.
6 other times when a game has gone into quadruple overtime, shots on goal are 74-52.
He scores! LaFontaine at the blue line here in the fourth overtime, winning the series.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
Mr. Hockey's final NHL goal, April 9th, 1980, the Hartford Whalers at the Montreal Canadiens.
Now over the line to his father, son to father, backhand shot, they score! Number 9, Father Howe. And they're going to give him a standing ovation here in the Montreal Forum. A tremendous tribute to one of the most amazing athletes in any sport.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden. After an exciting first period of action, the Rangers trail the Montreal Canadiens 3-2 as we get set for the second period of action. Time of the goal is driven by Ramsey Mazda. The Rangers' first goal was Noah Laba from Will Cooley and Connor Sherry at 18:49 of the first period on the power play. It would be followed up less than a minute later at 19:08. So 19 seconds later by Artemi Panarin on the penalty shot, and those are the two Rangers goals. Time of the goal driven by Ramsey Mazda. Get more for your money at Ramsey Mazda, like a 2025 Mazda CX-5 or Mazda CX-90. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. The Rangers, who had been 0 for their previous 11 on penalty shot attempts, you have to go back to December 9th, 2015, and Dan Boyle against Ryan Miller of the Vancouver Canucks. The last time the Rangers scored a penalty shot goal, they only had one opportunity last year. Mika Zibanejad late in the season against the Philadelphia Flyers. But the Rangers needed it. They needed it in the worst way after a first period that, although they outplayed the Canadiens for long stretches, they didn't get any payoff on the scoreboard. And we get set for the second period of action here at the Garden. The Rangers trailing 3-2. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Puck drop of the second period brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Puck is dropped. Rangers skate from left to right. They win the faceoff to begin period number 2. Now keep in mind, Vlad Gavrikov in the box, carryover penalty time on his tripping minor, and the Canadiens start from their own zone as they skate from right to left. Lane Hudson gains the zone, left wing, long reach from Schneider, forced him wide to the backboards, and then he's checked by Matthew Robertson to the far corner. Puck comes free. Schneider in a foot race, able to get to the puck, force it up the near wall, and Miller spins it across. Robertson gains the line, left wing, centers. That took a deflection before it could reach Trocheck. Short-handed bid for the Rangers. Trocheck frustrated that he couldn't get a stick to it. Slavkovsky gains the line. Left wing for Montreal. Plays it Suzuki across Demidov's shot. Blocked from the right side. A slap shot that Will Cooley stepped in front of. Hudson near half wall. Walks up the boards. Exchanges with Suzuki. Feeds it down low. Caulfield back for Suzuki. Left circle. Feeding the doorstep. Caulfield back for Suzuki out high. Play to the cross. Zibanejad a stick to knock the puck free. And he clears the zone for Cooley. Puck knife free by Suzuki at the Ranger line. And now it's Slavkovsky feeding Demidov on left wing. Shimmy shake, gets to the outside on Borgen. Now hands it off Suzuki to the center point. And Dobson to the right circle. Touch pass across the seam. Suzuki back across. And fed back for Suzuki. And it's trapped by Shesterkin on a bit of a two-man game from circle to circle there. And Suzuki with the last shot.
And then remember, that's where Suzuki hit pay dirt in the game in Montreal. Rangers susceptible to that backdoor one-timer, and Shesterkin with a good save to start the period. The Rangers with a couple of chances. There's no better time to flash the green light and go for a shorty than when you come out starting the period shorthanded.
Face off near dot. Laba wins it back for the Rangers, and it's fed around the boards and out by Soucy. Laba in a foot race with Dobson. Dobson wins out, gets to the puck behind the Montreal net, but penalty time down to the last 10 seconds for Montreal on their power play. Carried ahead by Kapanen, dropping for Texier on right wing. Now Gallagher, right side in the circle. Wrist shot blocked by Soucy. Gallagher hands it off back behind. Texier out to the circle. One-timer. Kapanen shut down by Shesterkin off his pad. And the Rangers definitely looking to stretch the ice. They had Gavrikov cherry-picking as he was just out of the box, and he deflects the puck deep. Texier to deflect it in for Montreal. Opening 2 minutes and change, period number 2. And we've got ourselves a game. Canadiens 3, Rangers 2 here at Madison Square Garden. Backhanded pass for the left side by Trocheck, and it hits sticks.
Really important that the Rangers don't put pucks in areas where they can feed Montreal's transition. The Canadiens are just too fast. So it's a matter of getting a little deeper in the zone.
Shot from the right point, tipped on goal. Pad save Shesterkin, loose puck, picked up Anderson. He'll flip to the line. Matheson, rising shot. Hit his own man in front, Evans, who was boxed out by Gavrikov. As Montreal will reemerge from the neutral zone with Veleno on left wing. Pass down low, Anderson. Up the middle, Suzuki. Shot blocked by Panarin. Suzuki rolls it to the point. Hudson, no-look pass. Dobson off the bench. Steers it down low. Gavrikov shielding from the oncoming Veleno, and the Rangers can start out from their own end. It's Will Cooey to attempt to dump it in. Knife down out of midair by Dobson. Montreal is going to counter here. Rangers unable to get a full change. And now it's Hudson cutting across to his right. Centering, score! Josh Anderson on a one-timer between the circles. Montreal able to gain the line with speed, and then Anderson unmarked between the circles, hammers it home to make it 4-2 Canadiens.
He just stuck it behind the coverage. 4 Rangers on the left wing dot line as Montreal gains the zone, which means there's a whole lot of white wide open behind him. But this play actually started at the Canadiens' blue line when Cooley tried to gain the zone right in front of the Rangers bench. Dobson had him. Now Cooley's a left shot. He's along the left wall. Dobson knew that the linesman was right there also. So Dobson moved a little bit more towards the inside so that Cooley couldn't gain an inside advantage and forced Cooley to literally dump the puck off the linesman, which allowed Dobson to turn it back around and get offense going the other way. So it's a brilliant play by Dobson at the blue line to use the linesman and his stick to influence where Cooley turned the puck over.
And to your point, it fed the transition game for Montreal and enabled them to get in the attacking zone. It is now 4-2 Canadiens. Kamelosh to flip the puck ahead on right wing for the Rangers into the corner. Goaltender out of his net. Fowler to chip it up the near boards. Carrick intercepts, and then it's stripped by Hudson, who'll dart behind the Montreal net to shake the Rangers forecheck loose. Now the pass, neutral zone. Kapanen had his stick lifted, literally, out of his hands, and it's all the way down, and it becomes an icing.
That's one way to do it. You know the old proverbial expression, you got to take the sticks out of their hands, but... So the Rangers, and we were just alluding to it, there's an area by each blue line, we call it the gray zone. The gray zone is 5 feet outside and 5 feet inside each blue line. And it is so imperative that you don't make a puck mistake in the gray zone at either line, whether you're on the offensive side or defensive side, attacking it, because of the fact that turnovers in that area tend to wind up in bad spots against you. It's a matter of either getting deeper or making a play with the puck prior to hitting where the faceoff dots are outside the line so you don't get caught in transition if you turn it over.
Ironically, until Montreal beat Pittsburgh 4-2 on Thursday, they were talking about the exact same thing, that they had been beaten in those areas, in those gray zones, as you put it. banked up the far boards and chipped ahead. And Montreal unable to gain the zone with possession. Gavrikov clears all the way onto the Montreal net. Fowler to play the puck to Suzuki far boards.
By the way, Fowler in his first 4 periods with the Canadiens faced 7 shots on goal from Sidney Crosby and a penalty shot by Panarin. Welcome to the league.
Right. He blanked the Penguins through 2 periods on Thursday as this puck is chipped up the far boards by the Rangers to the neutral zone. And Jacob Fowler, the 21-year-old, has stopped 9 of the 11 Rangers shots so far tonight. Gavrikov hauls down Suzuki as they tie up in the near corner in the Rangers zone. Loose puck picked up by Miller as Caulfield and Gavrikov joust with one another behind the play. Trocheck pursues in the left wing corner, spun off the puck by Jack Guy. Applying the body is Bolduc. Puck jarred free. Jack Guy reverses for Matheson. Too hot to handle. Matheson will have to hurry to get there. Sherry nearly kept the zone. Montreal will possess. And now it's Caulfield outletting for Suzuki. Up the left wing. He'll drop the puck deep. Montreal changes.
Montreal needed a change, long shift, and they put a puck in a great area, leaving it behind the net so that they have plenty of time to change and establish structure.
Texier goes rink wide on a backhanded pass. Nearly turned it over with Robertson lingering. The Canadians get it to the red line. It's hoisted in by Josh Anderson.
He just made the cardinal sin, Anderson did. He waited for a slow puck to come to him in his own zone as opposed to taking 2 steps and going to get it. And it almost wound up as a chance for the Rangers. If that had turned dangerous, that might have been a whole lot of watching the rest of the game for Anderson.
Puck played with a high stick in the neutral zone by Laba. Montreal touches, wiping away a whistle. But we have a whistle here as the puck hops into the seats, and we get a stoppage of play with 13:49 on the second period clock. The Rangers now trail the Canadiens 4-2 here at Madison Square Garden. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Your soul may feel broken today,
Joel Osteen.
but your soul can be restored.
Salvation.
Healing will come. Joy will come. Peace will come.
Be inspired.
Forces that have held you back are being broken off of your emotions, your attitudes, your thoughts. You are not going to live wounded. He's restoring your soul.
Joel Osteen Radio, Sirius XM 128, and on the Sirius XM app.
Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
April 14th, 2010, the Philadelphia Flyers join an exclusive club, the Hard Way.
History made in Boston tonight. The Flyers defeat the Bruins 4-3. They are the 3rd team in NHL history to come from behind after trailing a series 3-0.
The hockey history continues. Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
301 days since the hit on Chris Draper.
The Colorado Avalanche at the Detroit Red Wings, March 26, 1997, brawl in Hockey Town.
Now Darren McCarty gets his shots in at Claude Lemieux. And look who came all the way out to try to help. Patrick Roy. Oh my goodness. Vernon and Roy. They are on their feet here at Joe Louis Arena.
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Alex Faust, Dave Starman here with you in Madison Square Garden. Just over 6 minutes played in the second period. Rangers trail the Canadiens 4-2.
Canadians with a good opportunity. Just a moment ago, Rangers were able to shut it down. Rangers looking to gain some traction here in period number 2. They'll start it with a face-off on the right wing dot in the Canadian zone. Zibanejad steps in.
Mika Zibanejad snapped the 7-game point streak. And the Rangers shutout loss on Wednesday. And he loses out here. The Montreal unable to clear. Bounces to the far boards. Panarin kept it alive. He spiked it off the wall and took an unfriendly hop back to the neutral zone.
Remember, there was a basketball game in here today, so the ice will be a little bumpy.
There's Mika Zibanejad. He splits the defense through Hudson and Dobson. So he's taken to the end wall. And as a result, Montreal has possession back. Pass up the far boards. Panarin was lingering, nearly intercepted him. Jumped his stick as Lafreniere tried to spin it across to the neutral zone. Blocked down by Evans. Rangers recovered. Panarin again tried to go east-west. Again, it hit a Montreal stick. And again, the Rangers will have to reset.
And again in the gray zone.
Yep. Here's Lafreniere to the outside, left wing. On Dobson, he's checked in the far corner. Rangers starting a change in the attacking zone. It's the period of the long change. Puck popped out of the corner and recovered behind the net by Hudson, though he's hounded from behind by Berard, who gets the steal. Near boards, it's Laba, checked by Veleno. Puck comes free. Berard caught up by Hudson. He's off his feet, but the Rangers win a board battle. Laba sends it across on his backhand. Wrist shot, Robertson wide. And it's banked in by Cooley. Playing it out in front. Puts it off the goaltender's pad and in. Will Cooley from below the goal line flipped it out in front, banked it off the goaltender, and it's back to a one-goal game. The Rangers trail 4-3.
Great job by Berard to really help set this up. Berard carried a little bit of the mail here before this puck got to the front of the net. And Cooley was able to go to work. And give Cooley a ton of credit. He had no angle. He had no options. Puck comes off the backboards. He is to the left side, the glove side of Fowler. What does he do? He steps out just a little bit, puts the puck towards the front of the net. It banks off the stick of Fowler, who put it in his own net, off his own stick. I'm telling you, this is as good a play as Cooley could have made. He could have tried to invent something. There was nothing there. So what does he do? He throws it right into the soup to see if it's going to bang off something. It does. And the Rangers pull within one. Great job by Will Cooley.
That's a part of the equation to go into hard areas.
You got to play in a soup or else it just doesn't work. And Berard was there, and Berard started it with getting some possession and helping to get the puck back to the point for that shot to hit off the back end and allow Cooley to go to work.
Rangers with it once again. Borgen right point. A rising wrist shot. Trapped to the chest protector by Fowler. And once again, it's a one-shot game. We're under 12 and a half to go in the second. Rangers trail 4-3.
Rangers come right back out with another good opportunity. Big lines on the ice. And immediately get another puck to the front of the net on Fowler. This one he saw a little bit more. With the Rangers, from an offensive standpoint, have had great blue paint presence tonight. When that puck went across the goal line, they had 3 sticks within 3 feet of the goaltender, Fowler.
Trocheck near dot to take this face-off against Suzuki. The left of the 21-year-old rookie, Jacob Fowler, who has another welcome to the NHL moment. A puck banked off his goalie stick and off his pad into the net. To make it a 4-3 game, Rangers dump it in to the near corner. It's Matheson who turned it over behind the Montreal net to Sherry. Swoops in for the intercept. Robertson, left point, shot, save, rebound, score! J.T. Miller pouncing on the rebound off the pad of Fowler. And the Rangers have come back to tie this game 4-4 in period number 2.
Well, you can cancel the coronation of the next goalie in Montreal all of a sudden showing up. Fowler's a heck of a goalie, and he is getting pounded right now by the Rangers. A long shot. He just gave this one back. This thing hit him exactly where he wanted it to. He had his glove in front of his body, hit the catch glove, and just fell right out. And Miller, Johnny on the spot, sees that Fowler's going from his right to his left, leading with a stick, opens up the wickets, and doesn't overcomplicate it, slides it right through. Nice job by Mike Sullivan to put the big line on after a goal to continue the momentum. The big line pays off, and Miller gets this game tied 4-4.
8th goal of the season for J.T. Miller, who's really seemed to come into his own over the last couple of weeks. Remember, dealt with an injury in training camp, slow start to the season. But Mike Sullivan talking about him being more of that beast mode Miller, especially around the net front. And the Rangers have come back from down 3-0 to tie this game 4-4 here in period number 2. Texier with a steal near boards against the Rangers' 4th line. Texier flips it to the left point. Jack guy across. One-timer from the right side. Saves Shesterkin with his pad. Texier near circle. Texier dancing with the puck. Drawing it to the goal line. Tried to cycle. Intercepted by Carrick. Shielding the puck. He coughed it back up to Beck. And now flipped out in front. Hits sticks. Forcing the Rangers to battle again along the wall. Vakanainen hard around and out to the red line.
I understand that defense is a team game, but for Shesterkin, every save he makes until the Rangers can get a lead is huge.
Slavkovsky enters right side. Drop pass overskated by Kapanen. And here come the Rangers. Panarin, left wing, cuts to the middle, fires, glove, saved by Fowler, scooping that one up confidently to halt play.
And the reason I say that is because now it's a mental thing. If the Rangers get over this hump of 2-0 and the different 4-2 to get it to 4-4, now you take the lead. Now it's a different story. That's a different lead than leading 1-0 or 3-2 at some point during the game. This is overcoming a mountain twice of a 2-goal deficit, especially after you earn the game early and then really flatline for a while. So if you can get up 5-4, what a mental lift it is for the Rangers and a huge lift for Shesterkin if he can make sure it happens.
Zibanejad on this face-off, attacking zone to the left of Fowler near Dodd. He pushes the puck forward in the near corner, goes after it, applying the body on Hudson. It comes free. Panarin battles half wall, jars it free. Lafreniere swipes at it, bank near boards. Panarin takes over, rolls it for Zibanejad into his skates. Dobson with the strip, plays it up the near board. Schneider pinches to keep it alive. Slavkovsky has to backtrack. And now Dobson behind the net will hand it off far corner, though the Rangers hard on their forecheck. Gavrikov all the way down to the goal line, preventing a clean exit. Slavkovsky now rounds the corner, gains the red line, and enters the zone on right wing. He's stick-checked immediately. Rangers take possession back. Panarin, pass up the middle. Here's Lafreniere fanning on a shot slot. And Montreal will have it back. Hudson tried a alley-oop play. And his pass wound up being behind Oliver Kapanen. It's an icing against Montreal.
And Montreal looked like they were trying to see whether or not they can make a case of Kapanen potentially beating Morgan on the race. And I think where a lot of people get confused on the new icing rule, the hybrid icing rule, it's not a race to the dots. The puck still has to go across the goal line. The linesman's job is to determine at the dots which of the two players chasing the puck would have gotten to the goal line first. And in this particular situation, it was Morgan.
Rangers win the faceoff. Robertson wrist shot into traffic from the center point. Blocked and lifted out by Slavkovsky. A minute-long shift for Montreal. And they'll finally get the change they needed, though they're sloppy on it. Rangers with a stretch pass up the right wing, trying to catch him. Berard goes rink wide, off a stick. Montreal trying to counter. Good stick by Cooley, denying a clean exit. And they'll dump it back in.
Sorry, Alex. As long as Montreal can continue to sell that they're going to try to go off the ice with a home run pass, they could soften up the coverage a little bit.
There's Berard, right circle, shielding the puck. He's finally bumped off of it by Matheson. The Canadians charge out of the zone. Evans flutters a pass across. Good track back by Vakanainen, deflecting it away from Gallagher. Montreal pick it up again. Around the horn, Jack Guy, left side. Sell shot, draws it, goal line, centers. One-timer blocked. Adam Engstrom for the high slot. Meanwhile, Gallagher and Vakanainen battling at the net front. Gallagher knocked off his feet. Montreal changing in the attacking zone in what's now a tie game past the midway point of regulation time. Rangers dump the puck ahead. Laba deflects it into the attacking zone. Rangers change.
Brendan Gallagher could play for me any day of the week. He plays it right to the line, sometimes a little bit over, draws a lot of penalties, takes a few dumb ones, but boy, is he a competitor.
He is one of the great agitators in this league. Puck in the far corner, Rangers zone. Schneider and Miller in front of the Zamboni doors. Whack after the puck. It finally comes free. Trocheck banks it up the far boards. Swatted out by Suzuki out of midair to keep it alive for Montreal. Schneider up the far boards, intercepted by Suzuki. Tried to center for Caulfield. It jumped his stick. Near side, it's Sherry. Half wall, turning the corner. He'll skate it out. Sherry over the red line. Banks it deep. Sherry will pursue. Rangers starting a change. Sherry in after it. Montreal first on it. And it's aired out by Bolduc.
Sherry put it in a great place for the Rangers to establish a forecheck. They were on a change, but it was in a spot where Montreal couldn't get any speed out of their own end.
There is Sherry on right wing. Cuts to the middle. Leaves it for Trocheck. Right circle. Hits the near post. Then a shot for the perimeter. Saved by Fowler. Near boards, Montreal will clear. Texier no further than the red line as he's off his feet trying to sell a penalty. No call coming. Meanwhile, Trocheck and Bolduc away for the puck are shoving one another. Texier will gain the puck, skate over the red line, pass out wide, right wing, shot by Owen Beck. A wrist shot in transition, gloved by Shesterkin. And everybody's going to come into a scrum at the Ranger goal crease.
I like this. I like the Rangers getting in the front of the net quick and pushing some bodies around, sending the message. Don't stand in front of the crease and don't touch the goalie. This is good for the Rangers. It's good for the crowd. It's good for morale.
Now, it's been quite the atmosphere from the get-go, and they're still not done. Everybody's going to have to be restrained. A little bit more chirping and shoving and pawing at one another after the whistle. We have a stoppage of play with 7:36 to go in period number 2. The Rangers have come back to tie it 4-4 with the Canadiens here at Madison Square Garden. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Every unforgettable Rangers moment is built on passion, precision, and legacy. The same qualities that define London Jewelers. For 100 years, London Jewelers has helped generations celebrate life's biggest wins, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones that last forever. Because true brilliance isn't just seen, it's felt, shared, and passed on. From luxury jewelry to fine timepieces, London Jewelers is where moments become memories that last a lifetime. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of excellence. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 6 locations.
Driving in a Honda Wonderland.
It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days. So don't wait. Hurry into your local Honda dealer where you can find clearance deals on a fun-to-drive new Accord, Pilot, or Ridgeline. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord, a 4.49% APR on a 2025 Pilot, or a 0.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
4-4 the score, 7:36 to go, second period. Rangers and Montreal Canadiens. There were some penalties in that scrum at the net mouth after the whistle. It will be Owen Beck, the rookie for Montreal, and Will Borgen, the veteran defenseman for the Rangers, each sent off for roughing. And so we'll skate 4-on-4 here for 2 minutes.
Yeah, Beck came back into the lineup and back up from Laval when Jake Evans was out earlier this week due to an injury. And Beck's the kind of kid who can weave his way into the lineup and stay there. He's a second-round pick back in 2022. A lot of upside and continuing to learn the defensive part of the game.
The Habs can get back into a playoff spot with a win here tonight. The Rangers can tie, but lose out on tiebreakers for the final playoff spot in the East if they win here tonight at Madison Square Garden. Puck is dropped in the Rangers zone. The Rangers will carry it out with Braden Schneider. Schneider, wrist shot, knocked down off the right arm of Fowler, and he has to shuffle the puck to keep it in play.
Rangers are testing the glove side. Whether it's the glove or the glove side, that's what they're going for right now.
Meanwhile, Caulfield walking in, tried to lift it short side high, hit the outside of the post on Shesterkin. And the Rangers will possess in their own zone. You might as well test a rookie goaltender, right?
Absolutely, but they found something. When Panarin hit the glove side, that was one. You think about the shot that Trocheck hit the post on, missed on the glove side, and the rebound goal was out of the glove of Fowler that dropped into play for Miller to put it in for 4-4.
Hudson walks around the Ranger net, followed all the way to the near boards and forced out of the zone back to the red line by Zibanejad. He lost his stick in the process. Carry it back in. Cuts to the middle. Stick check by Schneider to separate it for the puck. And Panarin now will leave it for Trocheck. Rangers reverse a second time for Schneider on a reset. Now Robertson as the Rangers change their full complement on the 4-on-4. With Miller, nearly left it in a dangerous area as he left his own zone. He'll enter down the middle, pass out wide. Robertson joins the rush, pinching below the goal line, left side. He'll tie up with Carrier. Puck comes free for Trocheck. Shielding, spinning one to the near corner. Bounces off the near boards, secured by Demidov. Who flipped it for Matheson defensively. Rangers were still hounding on the forecheck with Miller and Trocheck. Now they'll back off.
Rangers doing a nice job being conservative and keeping the puck in front of them with the sides at 4-4 because the Canadian speed becomes amplified with one less player on the ice for each team.
Trocheck will wheel back through center. Rangers changing personnel. And it's Vakanainen to draw it back behind his own net as both Borgen and Beck are released from the box. Outlet on left wing, Gavrikov goes rink wide, jumps away from Lafreniere, gets a return pass Cooley. Lafreniere down the slot, Gavrikov cleaning up the loose puck, shot it off a body, caroms to the far corner. Behind the net, Lafreniere intercepts a puck, though he's checked off his feet, and Montreal will skate it out. 5:10 remaining, second period. Rangers and Canadiens tied at 4 in a wild game. Montreal led 3-0 and 4-2. Montreal offside right in front of their bench. And the Rangers have battled their way back to come back from a multi-goal deficit to tie this game. It's 4-4 with 5:03 remaining in the second period. Rangers hockey on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Honda dealers, and we'll step aside. You're listening to Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is Sirius XM NFL Radio.
Hi, this is Bob Popper from Airing It Out. Week 15 is here, and we have some huge matchups that will impact the playoff picture.
When people say, well, who do you like? I'm like, I don't know that there's a dominant team right now.
The Bills and the Patriots, the Lions and the Rams, and the Chargers visit the Chiefs.
Touchdown, Kansas City! Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
Historic hockey moments.
October 15th, 1989, the Great One passes his childhood idol, Mr. Hockey, for most points scored.
Gretzky has 1,850 points.
The Taylor to Gretzky, he scores! He's done it! Wayne Gretzky, the Great One, has become the greatest of them all!
Ladies and gentlemen, Gordie Howe.
A super young man, a great hockey player who shares in everything he does, and congratulations.
The hockey history continues on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, your NHL 100.
Is the greatest player to ever play sitting at the podium right now?
We talk about this all the time. That's what makes sports great, and that's what makes hockey wonderful. I think we're all in pretty much agreement that Gordie was pretty special.
The hockey history continues. Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
November 26, 2005, the New York Rangers win 3-2 over the Washington Capitals in the longest NHL shootout at the time, and it was an unlikely hero that emerged for the Blue Shirts in the 15th round with a highlight for the ages.
Malik has not scored this year. In on Kolzig. Fake the legs! Oh, Malik went between his legs!
Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Theme jerseys here tonight, honoring the New Garden era from 1968 to 1991. It's Carson Soucy, left point, rolling the puck around the boards. Carrick protects behind the net. Tight turn against Evans. Walks out. Carrick turns, fires off a body.
Great idea.
Ricochets to the near boards.
Great idea. Would have loved to see them stuff it 1 second earlier, but great idea.
Collision in neutral ice. Boleno and Gavrikov both hit the deck as Soucy clocks Gallagher in the near corner. Rangers have the puck in their own zone.
By the way, how great would this game look if the Canadians were wearing red?
Oh, boy. Don't get me started, because I'm a big proponent of that. There was a big article in The Athletic about that this week, that the NHL is encouraging more of that, and I think teams, you'll start to see a lot more of that in the coming years. Lafreniere will walk it out. His pass up left wing, picked off neutral zone by Caulfield, and drop back in. Bolduc pursues. Soucy on it behind the Ranger net. Panarin unable to clear. Soucy hands it off Gavrikov, and he'll steer it up ice. Again, the Rangers denied entry. Zibanejad stood up by Dobson, and it's rifled in by Hudson.
The Rangers have been able to keep Hudson fairly quiet. He's still impacted the game, but they've been able to keep him fairly quiet on a shift-by-shift basis.
Come the Habs. Backhand shot by Suzuki down the slot. Misses the net wide. Far corner, it's Gavrikov. Long shift. He wins out, and it's aired back to the red line. Gloved by Hudson. Gavrikov needs to come off here, but Montreal's not going to let the Rangers change. Turnover, though. Rangers get stick-on puck in the neutral zone, and it's dumped in by Panarin.
That's a good dump in, too. Rangers needed a change as well. Put the puck in the opposite corner, let it die there. Habs had to go back and get it, and the Rangers can set up structurally.
Kapanen up the left wing for Montreal, gains the line, stops up, he's the overlapping Slavkovsky, guarded by Borgen near boards. Borgen finishes the hit on Slavkovsky, puck comes free, Kapanen to steer it down the boards. Behind the net, Robertson, two Habs mark him, pushed up the near wall. Miller makes himself available. Miller jousting with Slavkovsky, puck available off the half wall. Miller wins out. Strong board battle for the Rangers captain, and they clear around the boards into the Montreal bench.
two things happen when you turn your body to protect the puck on the wall like Slafkowski did. Number one is you obviously put your body between the defender and the puck. That's a good thing. The bad thing is that when you handle the puck now, you're going to be on your backhand, which is inviting a defending player to attack your stick and to go through your hands. And it's exactly what Borgen did. So Borgen saw Slafkowski turn, and Slafkowski had to walk up the wall on the left side of the Canadiens' offensive zone. And Borgen just got behind him, waited, and then found his moment and pinned Slafkowski in, took the puck, and sent it out of the dangerous area.
He's in his 4th NHL season. He's still only 21 years of age, and the big knock on him from day one, even as a first overall pick, was learning how to use that big frame of his. Still a work in progress as the Rangers feed the puck ahead on right wing and hits a Montreal stick and hops into the front row of the seats. 2:23 remaining in the second period. Rangers 4, Montreal Canadiens 4.
Rangers have scored tonight along the way that they've been scoring lately. In the last 6 games, they had 12 goals, 9 off offensive zone play, 2 on the rush, and 1 was a breakaway. That was Sherry's goal. Tonight, they've got 3 offensive zone play goals, and they've got 2. They got a power play, and they got the penalty shot. But for the most part, it's holding firm. The way they score is by ground game, and converting off offensive zone play. They've got 2 tonight.
Josh Anderson flying into the attacking zone. Poke check from Vakanainen. Forces him behind the net. Chipped up the far wall. One-timer Dobson blocked, gets it back. Dobson carries it down the wall. Marked by Sherry. Centering pass captured by Miller at the top of the blue paint and flipped up the far boards and out. Rangers take it back in their own end. Under 2 to play in the second period.
Been a good period for the Rangers. They stabilized it early after the big deficit, and since then, they really haven't looked back.
Entered the period down 3-2, and the Rangers trail at one point 4-2. But they have battled back to tie this game 4-4. With it in the attacking zone as they roll the puck around the board. Sherry charges into Hudson. Those two collide. Montreal able to come away with the puck. Rangers deny a clean exit from the Habs. Sticked on the ice, denying a long pass, and now Suzuki will have to roll it in down the right wing boards with Caulfield pursuing. Gavrikov on the puck as he cancels Suzuki, allows the Rangers to exit the zone. Berard will chip it ahead with Cooley overlapping and getting to the puck behind the net. He's marked by Hudson and shoved off of it. Montreal clears back to the red line. Schneider bats it ahead down the near boards, not very far. Matheson corrals in his own zone, plays it across, and Hudson trying to get this puck deep for Montreal. Jumps off a stick and winds up in their bench with 52.7 remaining on the second period clock. The Rangers and the Canadiens tied 4-4. The shots this period 8-4 in favor of the Rangers. Remember, in terms of puck possession, they got off to a great start in this game, and then Montreal had 7 consecutive shots, 3 consecutive goals in the first. Rangers battled back. Power play goal, penalty shot goal. The Rangers getting 2 in this period to tie at 4-4. Center ice faceoff won by the Canadiens, and they'll dump the puck in. On left wing, Veleno marked by Borgen behind the net, tried to turn the corner, ran into resistance from Zibanejad. Montreal gets it back, half a minute to go. D-to-D pass, jumps over the stick of Matheson, kept alive by Carrier. Gallagher, top left circle, put a wrist shot wide. Montreal again on the puck. Carrier bodied up by Panarin, top of the zone, passes for Evans. Now up top, Matheson draws it back. 15 seconds. Evans half wall, played it across the middle, chipped out of the zone by Borgen. 10 seconds left. Matheson back in his own zone to get it. He'll look up ice. 5 seconds. Carrick, like a bowling ball, going after Matheson, made contact, and it delayed the exit for Matheson, drawing Montreal offside on an outlet at the attacking line. 1.3 remaining on the clock here in period number 2. And it'll be a face-off where the pass originated back at the Montreal defensive line. Sam Carrick with one last face-off here to take this period. And they're actually going to put Noah Laba over the boards to take it against Kapanen. Laba wins it back cleanly, and there's the horn. to end 2 periods of play. And in somewhat a reversal of fortune from recent games where the Rangers had struggled to generate shots on goal, they have 19 through 2 periods of play. They've limited Montreal to just 11. Now, granted, Montreal has 4 goals on those 11 shots, but we finished 2 periods of play tied 4-4 in a wild one, befitting of these 2 original 6 franchises here at Madison Square Garden. Stay tuned for the second intermission report. Dan Grossa in the studio. He'll recap the stats through 2 periods. We'll get another check of the out-of-town scoreboard coming up next. 4-4 Rangers and Canadiens here at Madison Square Garden after 2 periods of play. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Experience the sophisticated taste of the best single malt whiskey in the world, the Macallan, founded in 1824. Macallan is renowned worldwide for its extraordinary single malt whiskeys. Their outstanding quality and distinctive character reveal the uncompromised excellence they pursue. Whether your taste is sherry, oak, or double cask, the Macallan single malt whiskey is for you. Pick up the Macallan today at your nearest liquor store. The Macallan, the single malt whiskey against which all others must be judged. Crafted without compromise. Please savor the Macallan responsibly.
Every unforgettable Rangers moment is built on passion, precision, and legacy. The same qualities that define London Jewelers. For 100 years, London Jewelers has helped generations celebrate life's biggest wins, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones that last forever. Because true brilliance isn't just seen, it's felt, shared, and passed on. From luxury jewelry to fine timepieces, London Jewelers is where moments become memories that last a lifetime. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of excellence. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 6 locations.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. A Fanatics experience.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the ice, playing pickup on a Saturday, or scoring the game winner in overtime. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes? Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer, the official beer sponsor of the New York Rangers. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram of protein, and 0 grams of fat per 12 ounces.
This is the New York Rangers Intermission Report. Now, here's Dan Grossa on the MSG Radio Network.
And we welcome into the New York Rangers second intermission report. Dan Grossa with it. We got an exciting one going on at MSG where the Rangers and Canadiens are knotted up at 4 apiece after 40 minutes of play. And before we break it all down for you, let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 1050 ESPN, WEPN, New York.
3 goals in that second period, 2 of them coming off the sticks of New York Rangers. Blue Shirts began that second, having to kill off 1 minute and 52 seconds of power play time on a Vlad Gavrikov tripping penalty in the final seconds of period 1. They were able to do that, but not long after, Josh Anderson would give the visitors a 2-goal lead once again, his 6th of the year at .317 from Lane Hudson and Nick Suzuki. Anderson's first point in 10 games, but more importantly, it reestablished Montreal's 2-goal lead, and that goal was a direct result of a turnover by the Rangers in the neutral zone, and Lane Hudson found Anderson for a one-timer that beat Igor Shesterkin. So the Blue Shirts once again having to play catch-up, but they would slowly but surely inch their way back. Will Cooley getting his 9th of the season at .722 from Matthew Robertson and Noah Laba off of Lane Hudson's skate and into the net on that one, but Cooley gets it to count just the same in his 200th National Hockey League game, and he gets his 3rd multi-point game of the season. Laba with the secondary assist picks up his 2nd multi-point game of the year as well. Didn't take the Rangers long after that to get this one all square because JT Miller, just 35 seconds later, his 8th of the season at .757 from Robertson and Connor Sheary. JT gets his 2nd goal in 7 games, his 5th point in the last 5. Robertson with his first multi-point game of his NHL career. Sheary, his first multi-point game of the season. So we have an exciting one here between the Rangers and the Canadiens. And what else would you expect in the 646th career regular season meeting between the two original six foes? Shots on goal were 8-4 Rangers in that second period, and they have a 2-period edge, 19-11 in the shots department. But we're all tied on the scoreboard at 4 apiece. Have yourself a hockey holiday with the Rangers. Get tickets to see the Rangers live in action this holiday season by heading to NewYorkRangers.com/TIX. When we return on the New York Rangers second intermission report, we will hear from Noah Laba. We'll also check out the busy out-of-town scoreboard around the National Hockey League. And New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings during the More to Move You event. Lease a new Mazda 2025 CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $199 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN385912. MSRP $32,795. Zero security deposit. Ends 1/2/26.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the ice, playing pickup on a Saturday, or scoring the game winner in overtime. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes? Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer, the official beer sponsor of the New York Rangers. Enjoy responsibly. 2025 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram of protein, and 0 grams of fat per 12 ounces.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. A Fanatics experience.
Driving in a Honda Wonderland. It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer on a fun-to-drive new Accord, Civic, CR-V, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or a 2026 CR-V, a 4.99% APR on a 2026 Civic, or a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc.
Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, are here to help with your heat and water heating needs. Hockey season is the perfect time to replace that beast in your basement, that old, inefficient boiler, with a highly efficient Peerless Boiler. It's a perfect match for homes, apartments, commercial buildings, you name it. Get all the heat you need efficiently and save on your energy bill all year long. Learn more about the entire Peerless Boiler family of products and to find a local installer near you. Just visit PeerlessBoilers.com and remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Dan Grasso back in the Rangers' second intermission report. 4-4 is our score at the end of 2 periods between the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. Josh Anderson, his 6th from Lane Hudson and Nick Suzuki at 3:17 of the second period to put the Habs up 4-2. But then the Rangers answered with a pair of goals in 35 seconds apart. Will Cooley is 9th from Robertson and Laba at 7:22. And then JT Miller, his 8th from Robertson and Sherry at 7:57. And that is where we are tied at 4 apiece. Rangers fans, don't miss a moment off the ice. Catch ESPN New York on YouTube for all the New York sports talk you love. Weekdays 6A to 7P. Subscribe right now. Stay locked in. ESPN New York is on YouTube. Second multi-point game of the season for one Noah Laba. He has one of the Ranger goals this evening, and after that second period, he caught up with MSG's Michelle Gingras.
Montreal gets an early goal there, but then you guys get 2 back right away. What did you make of your team's response?
Yeah, I thought
we did a good job responding in the first, and then came out a fortunate goal there, and then to be able to respond like that is huge, and hopefully just carry it into the third.
You assisted Will Cooley's goal there. What were you guys trying to do, and what did that goal do for overall momentum for you guys?
Yeah, I think just try to create some offense there and try to create momentum for the group, and when it goes in, it's always good. So, but we're just trying to get pucks deep and really work them down low.
So you enter the third period, tie game. What's the message in the locker room, and what do you want to see from your team in the opening minutes of that third period?
Yeah, just high energy. We know we need to come out hard in the third and playing fast, and we think if we do that, we got a good chance to win this game.
Thanks for the time. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot to Noah Lava. Busy Saturday on the out-of-town scoreboard around the rest of the National Hockey League. This afternoon, the Devils defeated the Anaheim Ducks 4-1. Jake Allen made 30 saves. Jersey has won 2 of 3. Anaheim falls to 1-2 on their 5-game trip. They'll be at the Garden coming up on Monday night. Joel Eriksson-Ek, the game winner, 24 seconds left in the third period. Minnesota defeats Ottawa 3-2. The Wild have won 3 in a row. Ottawa's winless in 4 of their last 5. Wild game in Pittsburgh, where San Jose trailed the Penguins 5-1 in the third period. But John Klingberg, 2 goals, including the game winner in overtime, as the Sharks stun the Penguins 6-5 in OT. San Jose has won 3 of 4. Pittsburgh winless in 4 straight. In a shootout, the Islanders defeated Tampa Bay by a score of 3-2. New York has won 6 of 7. Tampa Bay right now winless in 5 of 7. 15 and change to play in Toronto, where the Oilers have opened up a 5-2 lead on the Maple Leafs. Connor McDavid has 2 goals. He's number 17 and 18 on the season. Edmonton 3-0-1 in their last 4 games. Elsewhere, Flyers and Hurricanes knotted up at 2 apiece with just under 13 minutes to play in Philadelphia. Trevor Zegras has his 12th of the season for Philadelphia. They've got points in 6 of their last 8. Carolina's won 5 of their last 7. About 15 to play in Columbus. The Blue Jackets have a 2-1 lead over the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas is 5-0-1 in their last 6. Columbus winless in their last 4 games. 2 periods done in Winnipeg. The Jets have a 4-0 lead on the Washington Capitals. Winnipeg winless in 5 of their last 6. Washington has points in 13 of 14 coming into this one tonight. Just about to start the second in Chicago, where the Red Wings have a 2-0 lead over the Blackhawks. Detroit has won 4 of 6. Alex DeBrincat has his 17th of the season in that one for the Wings. Chicago has lost 3 of their last 4. Scoreless first period in Dallas between the Panthers and the Stars. Florida's won 3 of 4. Dallas has points in 11 of 12. They are early on in Colorado, actually about 86 seconds in. But the Avalanche have a 1-0 lead already on the Nashville Predators in that one. Colorado, of course, best record in the NHL, points in 21 of 22. And it's Nathan MacKinnon, his 25th of the season, already getting Colorado on the board. The Preds, despite being in last place in the Central, have won 4 of their last 5. And coming up in about an hour, it'll be the Kings hosting the Flames. LA has points in 3 straight. Calgary, meantime, has won 3 of their last 4. Elsewhere, our score here is 4-4 between the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens after 2 periods of play. So the Ranger power play tonight, it's not gotten a whole lot of work just yet. Just 1 opportunity, and well, they made it cash in so far. That was the Noah Laba goal in the first period. Rangers trying something new, of course, still going back to the 5-forward configuration with that first power play. Mika Zibanejad playing the point man going into this one. That's what they worked on in practice yesterday, and afterwards, Mike Sullivan was asked what Mika can bring as the point man with the man advantage.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was talking about on the ice, is just his willingness to shoot the puck, whether he's up top or on the flank. One of the reasons why we moved Brett up top is because we really liked his one-timer on the flank. Because Mika, obviously, one of his strengths is his ability to pound the puck. He can really shoot it. And so, but now that he's up top, he can do the same thing from up there also. And I think, it was one of the conversations I had with the 5 of them on the ice when we were practicing it. Sometimes I think we want to pass the puck in the net, and I think we can create different ways. We can create off the shot too. I think we have to have more of a willingness to shoot the puck and put a puck in play, and then create off the shot. If the first one doesn't go in, it's going to present opportunity for a next play, and that's usually when the best players work their magic. And so I do think we can add that element to our power play more consistently than we do.
And that is the head coach, Mike Sullivan. Time now for another edition of This Date in Rangers history. And we'll go back 32 years ago, December the 13th, 1993. Mike Richter recording his 6th career shutout in a 2-0 win over the visiting Buffalo Sabres. He earned 24 shutouts before retiring in 2003, tied with Chuck Rayner and Gump Worsley for the 5th most in franchise history. Buy 4 games for the price of 3 and get your whole gang to the Garden during the Centennial season. Take advantage of this exclusive offer by heading to NewYorkrangers.com/JOY. So the Rangers tied after 2 periods this year, have a 4-4-1 record. Montreal is 5-1 when even after 40 minutes. Whenever this game finishes, we'll be right back here to fill you in on the Rangers post-game show. But coming up next, it'll be Alex Faust and Dave Starman. An exciting third period awaits with the Rangers and the Canadiens knotted up at 4 apiece. And you're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This has been the Spectrum One New York Rangers Intermission Report. Blue Shirts Hockey is next. Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
Week 15 of the NFL season continues on Sunday with a tremendous slate of games, and SiriusXM NFL Radio is your place to be for a comprehensive preview and in-depth analysis of every single matchup. Hear from the best guests and analysts as they get you ready for kickoff on Channel 88 and on the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM Sports, wherever you are, your team plays here. Historic hockey moments.
The Messier Guarantee. May 25th, 1994, the New York Rangers face elimination in Game 6 against the New Jersey Devils.
Under 8 minutes to play in the third and a 2-2 tie. Kolomov, save, rebound, score! Messier!
For the empty net, Mark Messier. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? He said we will win Game 6. He has just picked up the hat trick.
Never miss a moment on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments.
February 7th, 1976, Toronto Maple Leafs captain Darryl Sittler dominates at home in an 11-4 win over Boston.
He's beaten Rocket Bouchard's record. 9 points in the game, 5 goals, 4 assists. Hitler benches. 10 points. That's a new record. As long as he lives, he'll remember this evening. So will all of us doing the game here at Maple Leaf Garden.
On SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
We welcome you back to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. What a game between the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first period. Rangers with back-to-back goals at the end of the period made it 3-2. Montreal led 4-2 early in the second, but the Rangers have battled back, and we are ready to start the third period here, tied 4-4, the Rangers and the Canadiens. Alex Faust, Dave Starman here with you. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Third period puck drop is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action.
These games get a lot easier if you don't have to chase them. And like you and I talked about in period number 2, if you can wind up with the lead, if you're the Rangers, you can wind up with the lead after being down 2-0 and 4-2. That is an emotional boost that you can ride all the way to the finish line if you play your cards right. It's, to me, this period is about not being conservative, but it's about being smart and safe with the puck, not allowing Montreal to do anything to turn this game around. You get the next one, this crowd's going to go bananas, and you want that energy in the building.
Rangers looking for just their 4th win on home ice this season. And they'll dump the puck into the Montreal end to our left. Puck played back out by the Canadiens to the red line. A back pass from Gavrikov to Schneider. He'll retreat to the far corner. Pressured by Caulfield. He gives up the puck. A fortunate bounce right back to Schneider. And the Rangers exit. As it's Trocheck up the middle. And he ran into resistance. Bolduc and Carrier both there for the stick check. Rangers change. Montreal will change as well in the opening minute of the third period in a tied hockey game between these two original 6 foes. Slavkovsky will glide up on right wing. Bank pass behind the intended target. Kapanen will have to track it down. He and Borgen collide along the backboards. Kapanen and Borgen locked together. Puck comes free near side. Slavkovsky checked by Zibanejad. Gets himself free from that. Rolls it back down low. Kapanen and Borgen come together again. Borgen wins out. Rangers exit. Lafreniere crisscrosses with Panarin. Attacking line. Drop past Zibanejad. Across the seam looking for Panarin. It's broken up. Zibanejad rolls the puck up the far boards. And now Kapanen over the red line will roll it deep for Montreal. Played up the far boards. It's Josh Anderson joining the fray, surrounded by blue sweaters, and it's kicked out of the zone by Laba. Laba with a burst of speed. Tracking it down to the attacking end. Far corner. Absorbs a hit from Jacka. Puck comes free. Overskated by Berard. Flying off the bench, Schneider. At least slowed down the Montreal exit, and a pass doesn't hit the intended target up the far side.
It's a really good read by Schneider because he knew he had speed. He knew Montreal was a little tired. And he jumped in and dove down off the line instead of stopping there, coming off the bench, and try to create some offense.
Puck is stuck along the kick plate right in front of the Ranger bench. Beck and Texier there for Montreal. Laba keeping the puck pinned along. It's backheeled by Texier. Probably some of that European soccer skill. And Texier will fire this one off the outside of the cage as Sturkin ramps it off his stick into the netting. Texier will be playing for France at the Winter Olympics, representing that team. He is a native of France and released by St. Louis earlier this year, signed a prorated contract with Montreal and seems to have been a pretty good fit.
Mike Sullivan before the game talked a lot about through people and not just to people. And I think the Rangers defensively, for good chunks of this game, been a little nastier in front of the net. It's made a difference.
D-zone draw. Carrick loses out. And it's Hudson from the blue line. A shot bounces off a body. Collected right point by Dobson. And they'll pass down below the goal line. Around it goes. Hudson feeds it to the point. Gallagher up there. Wrist shot blocked by Carrick. Loose puck to the near boards and picked up by Gavrikov, who had some leverage getting position on Veleno. Montreal recovers, and it's Evans to slot it back behind. Rolls to Gallagher, right corner. Gallagher back around the boards. He passes for Evans. Delays, feeding Hudson. Blue line. Hudson delays. Stick handles. Shoots. Blocked by Carrick, who came out to challenge him. Hudson diving play to keep it alive for Montreal. Swinging it around the boards. Evans to the back. Dobson, long range wrist shot off a stick high and wide. Veleno picks it up. Extended for Montreal in the attacking zone. Pass to the circle. One-timer Gallagher fought off by Shesterkin. And carried out by Carrick. He'll gain the red line and dump it in.
Good job by Carrick to block a shot and then pick up a loose rebound in front of the Rangers net, skate it out, and put it into safe places where the Rangers can establish a forecheck and finish a change.
A much-needed change for the Rangers as now Montreal will send it deep. Shesterkin out of his net in the trapezoid to play the puck. Robertson tried once, tried twice to clear. Caulfield got in the way both times. Slots a pass down low. Bolduc return pass broken up. Rangers skated out. Sherry, chip and charge down the right wing board. Sherry collides with Carrier in the far corner. Puck comes free, punched up the wall. Suzuki will clear to the red line.
When Caulfield's on the ice, you have to know where he is. He's not necessarily around the puck a lot, though he is more than he used to be. But watching his ascension through the program through Wisconsin, he's one of those players that can disappear for 10 seconds. You have no idea where he is, and all of a sudden, he's at a scoring chance and a puck coming his way.
Leading goal scorer for Montreal, and he has 5 game winners on the season, tied for the most in the NHL. We have a tie game here, 4-4, just over 4 minutes played in the third. An open ice hit, Zibanejad on to Bolduc, knocks Bolduc off his feet. Montreal will change as they regroup the puck. Hudson from his own blue line sneaks a pass up left wing, deflected in by Kapanen. Susi is on it. Chips it up the far boards. Vakanainen checked by Kapanen. Rangers get it to the red line. Panarin will draw it and pass for Cooley up the middle and jumps off of his stick right as he tried to gain the line with possession.
This is as well as I've seen Cooley play through 3 periods of an entire game all season. He has been dialed in, details, little things, effort. I really like this game.
Will Cooley had the goal to make it 4-3. Banking one off the goaltender. JT Miller, the game tying goal less than a minute later. 35 seconds to be exact. Along the near corner boards, Gavrikov loses out in a battle with Demidov. Montreal only goes as far as the red line. Good track back by Labo. Gets the steal, then he's throttled into the curved glass at the Montreal bench. Canadiens with the puck in their own zone. And it'll be started up ice here by Adam Engstrom. Engstrom nowhere to go in the neutral zone. Carmeloche cutting down his passing lane. And he'll draw it back behind his net.
Rangers set up well. Montreal trying to stretch the ice, so Morgan way back on the right side, keeping an eye on the Canadiens, who are cherry picking a little bit with Anderson.
Good stick in the neutral zone. Radish denying an outlet pass, and he swings it down low. Rangers establish the forecheck. Morgan chops after one to the middle, blocked. Loose puck picked up by Radish, shot it wide, off the backboard. They score! Out in front of the net! The Rangers capitalize on a loose puck and bang it home. Taylor Radish battling for the puck, and Sam Carrick finished it off. The Rangers take the lead for the first time tonight.
Oh, that's the goal we were looking for. Now the officials are talking to each other about whether or not this was kicked in or not. But the Rangers made a great play in maintaining possession of the puck in the offensive zone, and Carrick went to work net front, battled two defenders as he hacked and whacked at it, and got it past Fowler. Now we're taking a look at the replay. I'm not quite sure I see anything.
No goal. The puck was kicked in. It'll be reviewed in Toronto.
It's got to be you heard the call by the official that the puck was kicked in, but it's got to be a distinct kicking motion, and it's now in the hands of the War Room in Toronto. But I love this play by the Rangers. I mean, they have owned the net front in front of Fowler all night. And that looked a little distinctive now that we're seeing it from above.
Just want to clean something up. It was Carmeloche, not Radish, battling at the net front along with Carrick. But you're right, the left skate of Carrick appears to swipe after the puck, and in a distinct kicking motion slips it under the pad of Fowler. Here comes the call from Kyle Raymond, and this was a fairly quick review. It's actually Corey Sivret who gives the announcement.
After reviewing the play, the puck was kicked in, therefore it's no goal.
They got it right. There's no other way to say it. They got it right. But that doesn't take away the effort that the Rangers put into getting that puck to the net front. This is not one where they're going to look at and think they got hosed. This is a letter of the law, no doubt about it, video review call. So the Canadiens get a little second life here with the score staying 4-4, but that doesn't change the fact that the Rangers have been a better team for 5+ minutes here, and they are really putting on an assault, and they are really owning the net front in front of the young goaltender Fowler.
My observation, David, it just feels like it all starts in neutral zone, where the Rangers have just been that much stronger in the last couple minutes.
No question. And you and I have talked a lot about this season about their ability to shrink the rink, and it's been one of those games that they've been able to do it. And a lot of it has to do with how well the forwards have tracked back to allow the D's to stand up and create that shorter rink.
So they remain tied with 14 minutes left in the third. Sharp angle shot near side goal line. Shesterkin got his goal stick to it. Rangers crank it the other way. Carrick wide of the target. Now Carmeloche goes to work on the forecheck along with Carrick near corner. Puck pop free. Carmeloche up the near board. Sherry just off the bench. Spun around by Suzuki. Carries it to the goal line. Sherry self-pass off the backboards. He's checked hard by Carrier and separated for the puck. Here to the red line, glove down by Borgen. Quick reload by the Rangers. Miller fires, wrist shot fought off by Fowler, blocker side. Robertson for Miller in the corner. He's checked by Bolduc, pinned to the corner wall. Miller trying to wrangle himself free. Sherry knocks the puck off the corner boards. Carrier sticks his nose in the battle for Montreal. Two asides from. Swiped off the back of the goal. Trocheck recovers the loose puck. Borgen, a slap pass off the backboards. Collected by Miller. He'll walk out center. Trocheck hits the outside of the post, I believe. It's either the outside of the post or the crook of the crossbar. And Trocheck, who had a golden opportunity from in between the circles, cranked a shot off the iron.
Canadians living very dangerously here. Rangers win a lot of battles. Miller, great puck protection.
Dobson slides it across. He has Hudson left side. Back to Dobson at the top right wing. Fires a puck into a maze of bodies. Knocked down by Shesterkin to the near boards. Panarin stops it up. Near corner. He'll turn up ice. Panarin walks over the red line. Panarin slides in right wing. Wrist shot. Knocked down. Blocker side again by Fowler. The Rangers trying to shoot for that 7-hole underneath the arms of the goaltender. Slavkovsky is centering pass for Montreal. Off sticks. Counterattack by the Rangers. Panarin red line. He'll send the puck deep around the boards. Lafreniere opposite side. Will receive. Play it back to Panarin this way. Half wall Panarin shielding. Check by Dobson. Fights his way through a Panarin. Centers. Redirect wide by Gavrikov, who is jumping in to the play between the circles. Lafreniere now behind the net with room to operate. Passes out wide. Panarin top left circle. Wrist shot off a stick into the netting. We have a stoppage of play with 11:37 to go in the third period. The Rangers and Canadiens remain tied 4-4 after the Rangers thought they had a go-ahead goal that was instead taken off the board on a distinct kicking motion. We'll step aside. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Ready to let the good times cruise? Then you need a Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, a proud partner of the New York Rangers. Made with real iced tea, real vodka, and no bubbles. It's one wildly refreshing drink. Stop by the Riverside Inn in Cranford. Enjoy a Sun Cruiser at Da Dive, the Riverside Inn, New Jersey's #1 dive bar. Sun Cruiser Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. All nutritionals based on 12-ounce serving. Please drink responsibly.
Attention Rangers fans, let's talk winning off the ice. Thrivewell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At Thrivewell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, Thrivewell offers private state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from our highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThrivewellInfusion.com. That's ThrivewellInfusion.com. Saving lives drip by drip.
Can you access quality health insurance? Yes, New York. Can you get help enrolling from a real person? Yes, New York. Is time running out to get covered? Yes, New York. Don't risk being uninsured for 2026. Say yes to quality health insurance from New York State of Health. Enroll or renew by December 15th for January 1st coverage. Visit nystateofhealth.ny.gov or call 1-855-355-5777.
Back here at Madison Square Garden, Alex Faust, Dave Starman here with you. Sorry about that. Alex Faust, Dave Starman here with you. Rangers and Canadiens tied 4-4 with 11:37 to go in the third period. Rangers hockey on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Honda dealers.
You were sounding like me there for a second last week.
I hope I don't sound like you in a couple seconds. Oh, man.
By the way, on that note, I want to send our best wishes to Ryan Nissan, Rangers Director of Public Relations. He's fighting a little bit of a cold and under the weather.
Everything's going around these days in the city.
No question.
Canadians have tossed the puck out of their zone and iced it. A little late hit there, perhaps, as Anderson is knocked off his feet.
That's okay. Hey, it was not too late. It was a part of the play. And my feeling with the Rangers as they keep going on through the season, the more physical tone that they can set, more hits they finish, and more snarl they play with, the better it's going to be. When you are playing on your toes like that with a physical edge, it matters. And defensemen know it, and they know when they go back behind goal lines, they're going to get rubbed out and hit and banged around, and that's a message that needs to get sent. You got to let teams know you're going to be hard to play against.
Canadians will get this puck deep legally now. Rolled around the boards to the far corner. Schneider is on it as he wins out against Texier. Panarin launches a pass up the right wing, picked off by Beck. Canadians re-enter with Texier down the right side. Texier to the back. Carrier, long-range wrister wide, glove side. Blocker side, I beg your pardon. Here's Carrier again. Jumps away from him. Zibanejad to steer it up the middle for the exit. And now Panarin slides in left wing. Panarin rolls one off the right pad of Fowler, who stayed with the puck and prevented the rebound chance. Canadians again will air it down all the way on the Rangers' net. Swiped that by Shesterkin to the near boards and Borgen.
Panarin literally used the pads of Fowler to put the puck in a spot to give himself a second chance at it. It was a really nice look.
Dumped out of the zone. Again, Montreal has iced it. They try to stretch the ice, and the Rangers will have an attacking zone face-off with just under 10.5 to go in a tie game, 4-4.
Matheson's not an easy guy to walk. Panarin walked him at the last second. Matheson with a little bit of a stick check. to prevent Panarin from getting his blade on the puck as Panarin came down the left wing side and drove right through the dot. Got the puck under the pad of Fowler, was looking for the follow-up, and that's when Matheson struck and got the stick off the puck from Panarin.
Trocheck on this face-off against Suzuki to the left of Fowler, far dot. And Trocheck wins it forward, but outside the circle, it's Hudson to take control. Tried to clear, knocked down by Miller at the blue line. Rangers will rim it around to the near side. Sherry rolls it back to the far side around the boards. Rangers trying to wear down Montreal along the perimeter. Miller pass to the point. Robertson, a wrist shot ahead. Hunter that missed the net, though Fowler never saw it. He was screened. Gloved by Robertson again. Played it into traffic. Bounds back out to the blue line. Montreal takes over. They try again. The hit ahead with Suzuki flying the zone. Rangers got to it in the neutral zone and dump it back in.
Rangers with 2 shots there. Robertson had, and both shots are blocked right on top of the paint. If you can get the puck off your stick into the front of the net and it gets blocked net front, that's one thing. Rangers doing a nice job of not getting shots blocked up high where they can hit shin guards and go the other way.
Berard, back pass for Schneider. Rangers trying to regroup in their own zone. Now a stretch up the right wing. Berard, touch pass across. Cooley, left side. For Lava, he's checked hard by Evans in the near corner, and Lava slow to get to his feet. He's looking around for a penalty. Appears to be okay. And we'll head back to the bench for a change.
You're at one of these games here right now where you're going to need an autopsy to get a penalty called.
Nothing called in this third period. Letting them play.
And the players are policing the game. Like, that's the other thing. If referees can build some trust in the players to police the game, they'll stay out of it.
Montreal's trying to clear up the middle. Rangers keep it alive. Blue line, Lafreniere for Panarin. Left circle, one-timer blocked by Matheson. Fed back to the point. Vakanainen, D-to-D for Gavrikov as he sends the puck down low. Around it goes for Panarin. Near half wall. Panarin curls out to the high slot. Dress back, blue line. Shoots. Got through. Stick save. Fowler. Couple of bodies out in front, and that puck wound up getting on goal. Kapanen now for Demidov. Return pass. Kapanen on the give and go. Knocked down by the glove of Shesterkin, and he freezes the puck. With 8:28 to go in the third period, the Rangers and the Canadiens remain tied at 4. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
The fantasy football playoffs are here, and you need fantasy sports radio now more than ever. After a grinding season of injuries, waiver moves, and start-sit decisions, the finish line is in sight.
Don't plan your team around last week's results. Plan your team around this week's expectations.
But making the wrong move could mean the difference between glory or defeat.
This time of year, you got to get the player. It's okay to overpay for guys.
Don't lose because you weren't listening. Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
Historic hockey moments. NHL Network Radio.
December 27th, 2000, well into retirement, which included a 1997 Hockey Hall of Fame induction, and also becoming owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Mario Lemieux, 44 months after hanging up the skates, called it a comeback.
33 seconds into the game, Mario Lemieux will get an assist in his first shift back. Lemieux scores! It is back!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
After scoring 4 goals in Game 38 for his 45th on the season, on December 30th, 1981, the great one Wayne Gretzky and his Edmonton Oilers hosted the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 39 of the season.
Gretzky, will he shoot? He does! He scores! Wayne Gretzky's 50th goal in 39 games!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Hockey season is the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Shesterkin with a big glove save that sent us to commercial. Faceoff will be to his left inside the Ranger zone. JT Miller's line is out. He will take it. And Miller on the left side of the ice has been really good all season long. Rangers the other night in Chicago were 9-6 in the defensive zone. It was probably the only thing that went right.
Canadiens win the faceoff. Hudson across. A one-timer shattering the stick out of the hands of Dobson. Harmlessly wide. Near boards, it's Trocheck to shovel it back to the red line. Hudson is on it. Canadiens reset. angled pass up the near boards. Bolduc to send it deep. On the right wing, Schneider covering ground to beat Suzuki, or rather Caulfield to the spot. Suzuki lingering, picks up a loose puck, beating Bolduc down the slot, stick check. Now Caulfield to the loose change, trying to flip it short side high, hit the back of the net. Suzuki in the far corner, walks out to the line, beating Hudson, faking a one-timer across. Suzuki, a blast high of the cage. Taken by Hudson, near side, right at the blue line, bouncing puck. Forced out by the Rangers. Sherry takes the hit.
Good job by Braden Schneider in his own zone. Really physical on Caulfield. As Caulfield tried to get to the inside on him, Schneider would have none of it and drove him wide for a harmless chance at the net.
Josh Anderson with Borgen knocking Texier off the puck in the far circle. Anderson pursuing near corner, flips it up the wall. Back checked hard by Robertson. They're going to call a hand pass against Montreal in the attacking zone and stop play with 7:08 left in the third. Rangers and Canadiens still tied at 4.
Now, where this gets interesting, you always talk about, hey, at the very least, get the point, right? You're tied 4-4, third period. It's starting to get past that. Like, with so many of these extra points being awarded for losing in overtime, whatever the case, it's hard to make up any ground. If you're playing a team in your conference, just getting the extra point is not good enough right now, especially against a team that you're going to be fighting for those last couple of spots for in the playoffs from the wild card side. So to me, this is all about winning this period to win the game outright in regulation.
Case in point as the Rangers dump the puck in. Hurricanes and Flyers in overtime. The Flyers are a team the Rangers are battling around the wild card cut line as this puck is rimmed around and out.
I know the Islanders played somebody in the conference today. Same deal. Went to a shootout.
Yeah, Lightning. So a lot of extra points being handed out this season. On a multi-year high in terms of overtime games. Battle, right wing corner. Meloche using that big frame to jar the puck loose, but it's swiped away on a second look by Valeno. Hudson locating Evans to escape the zone. Evans gains the red line, shoots it wide of the Ranger net. Picked up far corner by Soucy. Checked off the puck by Valeno. Rangers sort things out defensively. Cooley up the far boards. Flips it ahead. Berard barely onside with Laba. Now Hudson behind the Canadiens net to a loose puck. Up the near boards. It's chopped at by Evans all the way down. And an icing against Montreal.
So let me throw this at you, because I was thinking about this the other day. Probably I was in traffic. And here's my thought. So let's say you play an overtime game. Don't give the point to the losing team if you lose in overtime. So it's still 2-0, but you count it as an overtime win, overtime loss for a tiebreaker situation down the road. But the points still go 2-0, so you're not winding up with this inflated point number as you wind up. Your thoughts?
I've got many. I'll give you some.
None of them are good. I can just tell by your expression.
Lafreniere to steer the puck down the far board. Zibanejad engaged in a hard battle with Hudson. Wins out along the far wall. Lafreniere pass to the point. Gavrikov touch pass for Panarin to rifle the one-timer wide stick side.
I'll tell you, there's not a coach in the league that would agree with me on it, because you need the points, but just throwing it out there.
Sent around the boards in the Montreal zone. It's Fowler to move it along. Demidov to carry it out. Lined up on a hip check by Schneider to separate him from the puck. Now Slavkovsky on the forecheck for Montreal. He loses out. Rangers lift it to the red line. Panarin wrangling at the attacking line with Carey. Fires right pad save by Fowler. What a job by Panarin in open ice.
He has been really, really good tonight, and he's been simpler than he has been in recent games.
Morgan taken to the end boards by Kapanen. Battle ensues behind the Ranger net. Jarred free by Demidov. They'll swipe back to the puck. Nobody home. Rangers take over. Berard exits, passes, right wing. Cooley stops, centers. Laba. Shot blocked by Kapanen. Loose puck. Morgan jumping into the play. And he hits a stick. And that puck deflects to the near corner. Morgan along the backboards. Battling with Demidov. In swoops Dobson to take the puck free. Robertson on the pinch. Deck Slavkovsky forcing Montreal to backtrack again. And finally the Rangers will back off. Not before finishing a couple more hits.
Morgan had a chance to move the puck from low to high as he pitched down into the corner. under 5 minutes, tie game. He thought the better of it. He kept the puck underneath the goal line. That is really good hockey sense by Morgan.
Dumped in by Montreal. Rangers are on it in their own zone. They'll be sent around the boards to the near side, allowing Carrier to pinch, marked by Trocheck. Passed it up the wall for Suzuki, rolled down low, Caulfield behind the net, walks out goal line, paddle down from Shesterkin to deny what is either a cross pass or a sharp angle bid from Caulfield. The Rangers will dump it into the left wing corner. Trocheck and Miller pursue. Trocheck finishes a hit on Matheson. Puck comes free. Miller hits the deck along with Carrier. Rangers get the zone. Oh, it picked up out of the far corner by Matheson. Rifled out. Off the near boards collected by Suzuki. Hounded by Gavrikov as he enters. High cycle now Bolduc. Walks out for the corner to the high slot. Wrist shot wide stick side. 3:20 remaining in the third, and a puck off the backboards is frozen by Shesterkin for a whistle. And we hit a stoppage in what is still a tied hockey game. 4-4 Rangers and Canadiens. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York. And the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Driving in a Honda Wonderland. It's that time of year again. Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer on a fun-to-drive new Accord, Civic, CR-V, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or a 2026 CR-V, a 4.99% APR on a 2026 Civic, or a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at NHLshop.com. Fanatics experience.
Experience the sophisticated taste of the best single malt whiskey in the world, the Macallan, founded in 1824. The Macallan is renowned worldwide for its extraordinary single malt whiskeys. Their outstanding quality and distinctive character reveal the uncompromised excellence they pursue. Whether your taste is sherry oak or double cask, the Macallan single malt whiskey is for you. Pick up the Macallan today at your nearest liquor store. The Macallan, the single malt whiskey against which all others must be judged. Crafted without compromise. Please savor the Macallan responsibly.
Alex Faust, Dave Starman here with you. 3:19 remaining in regulation time. The Rangers and the Canadiens tied 4-4.
Well, the one thing Mike Sullivan wanted to see from his team was a lot more effort and a lot more attention to detail, and he's gotten it. And he also talked about the Canadiens earlier today. He said they're a team that is full of youth. And when you have a lot of youth, you always have a lot of enthusiasm in the room. But youth can also be pushed and tested in tight games. And this is a spot where Mike Sullivan wanted to see his team, his vets, against the young guns of the Habs and how well they can handle it.
Face off far down to the right of Shesterkin. 3:19 on the clock. Laba, defensive zone draw against Veleno. Sticks down, puck drop. Rangers win it back. Robertson out there with Borgen. Looks like Soucy has been skipped over for the most part in this third period as the Rangers rotating through their defense pairs. Rangers keep it alive. Blue line. Pass for Berard, missing on a wrist shot. Stick side. Play back behind the goal. Intercepted by Veleno. Will come together with Cooley in the far corner. Laba charging down the wall. Lock sticks with Veleno. Knocks the puck free. Laba still battling Veleno as he came back to pin it along the kick plate. Hudson joins the scrum. Referees imploring the Rangers to move the puck. It is not just yet. They might have to blow it dead here. Finally, it is moved. And the Rangers take over. Near corner. Berard trying to start a cycle. Bad bounce. And it caroms right to Hudson, who launches it out of the zone.
The referee that got hit in the corner with that cycle pass has got to know that pass is coming and to get himself off the wall. I mean, that's referee hockey IQ. Berard had no other option, and the whole planet knew that Berard was going to cycle the puck down low.
Instead it hit Corey Sivren, and that was the bad bounce. So it's Carrier back in the Montreal zone. 2 minutes left in regulation. Rink wide pass Suzuki in full flight. Shooting swallowed up by Shesterkin. trapping the puck between his pads. No rebound. Face-off with 1:54 to go.
Suzuki from outside the dot, coming down the right side, fires one to the net. Good idea. You never know what's going to happen, especially with 2 minutes to go. Throws one in front, and Shesterkin, no problem, out on the top of the crease to hold that one up. So it'll be a face-off with 1:54 to go. And it'll be to the left of Shesterkin. If it's a left dot face-off, who's going to take it?
JT Miller.
Of course.
Yeah, there you go. A choke way up on the stick, all the way down towards his blade. Montreal wins it anyway. Matheson, D-to-D pass, one-timer. Carrier is blocked, and then he's checked by Sherry hard right in front of the Rangers bench. They'll lock sticks together in a battle. Puck pinned along the boards, finally won by Montreal. They'll start a change. Slavkovsky rifles it around, cut off by Shesterkin. Shesterkin delays, outlets up the near boards, picked off Carrier, passing to the middle, redirect from Texier, ricochets to the far boards. Sherry out with it, and he'll gain the red line. Self-pass, Matheson on the back check, loose puck. Matheson now without a stick, and it's hammered at off the far boards and down by Montreal. This is an icing. Montreal in the middle of a change. They'll have to return personnel to the ice with 1:12 to go. End zone face-off for the Rangers.
Matheson made a really good play along his left wing wall as Sherry tried to gain the zone. The two of those guys had a really good battle in front of the benches as the puck was coming up ice from the Rangers' perspective. And Matheson lost the stick and managed to kick the puck across the goal line or towards the blue line before the Canadiens iced it. Big play by Matheson without a stick.
Face off to the left of Fowler. 1:12 on the clock. 4-4 the score. Rangers and Canadiens. Rangers were down 3-0 early. Rangers win it. Panarin, high slot, misses wide. Matheson picks it up off the backboards, rolls it up the wall. Panarin cranks one from the blue line into traffic. Ricochets to the corner. Final minute of regulation. Matheson walks it up the far boards. Poked at by Panarin. Couldn't keep it alive. Nice stick by Robertson at the red line, denying a break for Montreal. Rangers catch him on a change. Panarin left side. Stops up. Panarin waiting for support to arrive. Rangers changing themselves. Panarin twisting, turning, passing. Schneider right side, wrist shot partially blocked. Lafreniere side of the net, couldn't jam it right on. Zibanejad now gets position against Hudson. Walks up the wall. Rangers lose out though on a stick check far boards. Now Hudson galloping out of the zone. He has Evans with him. Gains the line. 25 seconds. Hudson dangles. Shuffles the puck back behind. Evans gathers back behind the Ranger net. Evans walks out, goal line, feeding Hudson, skate the stick, pass for Dobson, winds, fires on a pass, and it's deflected up into the netting with 12.7 to go in the third.
Montreal is going to keep their big guns on the ice. Rangers are looking like they're going to make a change. This has been the slowest of changes. So Montreal getting a little bit of a breather here. Rangers are going to go for a fresh set with 12.7 seconds to go. Faceoff will be to the left of Shesterkin. Miller coming out to take this one. He'll have Gavrikov and Schneider behind him unless they change. And now it looks like Montreal has called timeout.
Kind of a smart timeout for Martin St. Louis. You get an end zone faceoff, a chance to get your top guys rested, and you can draw up a set play here off this faceoff. The Rangers were down 3-0 in this game. After goals from Bolduc, Jackay, and Evans in the first, they responded with a power play goal from Laba, a penalty shot goal from Panarin. Montreal made it 4-2. And then the Rangers battled back with 2 goals in the span of 36 seconds in the middle of the second period. One from Cooley and one from the captain, JT Miller. And that's where we stand. All the scoring happening in the first 27 minutes and change of this game. We've been tied 4-4 ever since. And now the Rangers in the defensive zone will again have Miller along the near dot to the left of Shesterkin. Montreal will counter with Suzuki, Caulfield, Hudson, Dobson, and Gallagher.
If you're the Rangers, you want to try to draw it back low and have Gavrikov or Schneider slam it out.
And that's exactly what Miller did. Hard around, jumps the stick of Dobson at the opposite point. Rangers with 3 seconds, carried in by Miller. Reverse hit on Dobson. Puck comes free. The horn sounds. And this game will head to overtime. And for the 4th straight game at home, the Rangers need overtime.
So they won against Dallas, then lost the next 2. That was Colorado and then Vegas. And now they go to overtime number 4. This is a good point earned by the Rangers, considering that this game could have been over early. I mean, Montreal was buzzing 2-0, and they were flying 3-0. Rangers came back to get it to 3-2. Canadians scored again, 4-2. And the Rangers fought back, and the Rangers did a lot of little things well today. With the exception of that period of time where they got steamrolled in period number 1, they've gone to the net. They've been above the puck. They have put the pucks in areas on the forecheck where they can get them back and negate Montreal's speed. The Canadians, we all know, are the faster team. They've only had 17 shots on goal this game. Rangers done a nice job at eliminating Montreal's forte, and that is getting up the ice quick and using their skill.
So the Rangers will play their 9th overtime game this season. 4-4 in the first 8. Only one has gone to a shootout. For the Canadiens, they've been good at overtime this year. This will be their 11th overtime game. They've won 7, lost 3. 4 of their overtime games have required a shootout in the end. So, line things up, get a little bit of a scrape here on the ice, clean the boards, get everything set up for 3-on-3 overtime. The Rangers pick up their 35th point of the season. Montreal picks up their 36th. These two teams just outside the wild card cut line. For Montreal, this puts them in a tie with Pittsburgh for 9th in the Eastern Conference. They would need another point to tie New Jersey and Philadelphia, and also to tie Detroit for 3rd in the Atlantic. For the Rangers, a second point here, and they would draw within 1 of a playoff spot.
In my opinion, this is the biggest point on the line at this point of the season. I think, to me, no point's a must point until you get knocked out, but like we talked about, it gets late early in the NHL. And with everybody picking up points, a second point is almost a must.
JT Miller against Nick Suzuki on the opening faceoff to begin overtime. They lock together. Miller goes low. Puck up for grabs. Won by Trocheck outside the circle. Sling it back for Gavrikov, and the Rangers possess to begin OT. Gavrikov will begin from behind his net. He'll feed Trocheck as he winds it up, building speed. Trocheck picking up steam through the neutral zone. Cuts, drops for Miller. He'll charge into the zone on left wing. Miller applies the brakes, button hooks. Miller leaves it for Trocheck, left side, marked by Hudson. Trocheck feeds Gavrikov, blue line, walking in, back for Trocheck. The redirect goes wide. Now Hudson has Caulfield streaking ahead of him. Hudson will charge up ice himself. Hudson down the middle, fakes and draws it to the near boards. Montreal will probably start to change personnel if they don't get a look here quickly. Suzuki will leave it for Caulfield, blue line. Caulfield draws it to the outside, and Caulfield will scan and survey, glide to the blue line, leave it for Hudson, leaving it for Suzuki. Right wing, doesn't like the look, challenged by Panarin. Now Caulfield down the middle, dangles past Miller. Caulfield in tight, Shesterkin may have had a piece.
Gavrikov with a nice job on Caulfield to force him a little bit outside of where he wanted.
Stretch pass from Miller. He has Robertson missing with a wrist shot. Glove side. Montreal will lead it ahead. Kapanen, breakaway, moving in. Missed the net. Glove side. Montreal changing personnel. Kapanen, stick check by Robertson. Rangers get possession back. Robertson for Zibanejad. Up the left wing. Zibanejad gliding in, stopping, passing. Panarin gathers. Deeks draws a penalty. Delayed call on Montreal. Shesterkin hustling to the Ranger bench. They'll have an extra attacker. 4 against 3 in overtime on a delayed penalty. Robertson glides up ice. He'll dish for Zibanejad behind him. Now Lafreniere, skate to stick, glides in over the line. Doesn't like the look, backs out. Rangers can take as much time as they like because it's a long change here in this overtime period.
It's like playing with house money right now.
Here's Panarin, left wing. After a brief spell on the bench, back to Zibanejad, to Panarin, left circle, shot towards the net. He had Lafreniere parked to the top of the blue paint. It was into his skates.
Yeah, get something set up back door here.
Panarin, high slot, rising shot, knocked down by Fowler, and then the loose puck out of midair, put wide by Lafreniere. Montreal touches up. 2:31 to go in overtime. Power play for the Rangers as they look for a game winner.
Montreal, number 71 is a 2-minute liner, Slashy.
There was a broken play in Montreal's zone, and that's what caused the slash. Rangers really pushed the issue. Panarin caused the turnover. And it was a love tap, but it was a slash as Panarin went to the net. And the Rangers get a pretty good chance. So they will go 4-on-3 here for the next 2 minutes and 2.5 to go. Panarin with a really good shift. Let's see what the Rangers do in terms of the 4-on-3. And are they going to call timeout? David Quinn grabs the whiteboard, and I think the Rangers are going to call for time here.
Indeed, that's the case.
So 4-on-3. Face-off looks right now like it's going to be on the right side of the ice. Rangers get to choose which side they want to take the face-off on. It looks right now on the ice. It's going to be Trocheck, Panarin, Zibanejad. We'll see who the fourth's going to be. And for New York, the game plan is going to be predicated on this. Number one is you want to win it straight back if you can. You're probably not going to put a player on the wall in this face-off because there's only 4. So you bring 2 in towards the hash, 1 up a little bit towards the top of the circle. That way, if you draw it back, you got support and you got an ability to send a player to the front of the net quick. Panarin, Zibanejad, Trocheck, Miller on the 4th.
Let's go Rangers, the chant.
You did it right along with them. That was impressive.
Hey, Ray Castoldi, the garden organist, is helping me out there.
Yeah, you were right in sync there. That's good.
It'll be Suzuki for Montreal with 2 defensemen, Matheson and Carrier. The Rangers taking all the time they need, and the referees letting them get set up, organized on this 4-on-3 power play in overtime. Looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Trocheck. Near top. Wins it back to the middle. Miller tied up by Carrier, so the puck goes to the blue line. Panarin and Zibanejad play catch. Still crisscross. Panarin now right side. Panarin glides in, looks, passes Miller. Back for Panarin. His shot right to the chest of Fowler, who traps. No rebound.
I like how Fowler played this, the Canadiens goaltender. When the puck came low to Miller on the right wing side at the goal line, Miller wasn't in a position where he could have turned and shot very quickly because he had his back to Fowler. So Fowler knew it was going to go back to Panarin. He didn't panic, and as soon as the puck started to move, he got way up top of the crease and gobbled up the rebound. Nice goalie IQ out of Fowler on that play to read it.
Face-off win for Trocheck. Near boards, it's Zibanejad to gather. Zibanejad waiting right point. Long pass, Panarin. Left side, walks to the circle. Passes goal line, Trocheck. Back out high, Zibanejad across. One-timer, score! J.T. Miller wins it in overtime. The Rangers come all the way back and win it 5-4.
What an absolute rocket from J.T. Miller. Set up so well. 2 face-offs, 4-on-3 in the overtime. The Rangers win them both. They get chances off of both of them. Just shows how important winning these face-offs are. This one, they got back to the point. They exchange places on the point. They finally move it around. Rangers get the puck toward the left side of the ice. Slide it to Miller, standing towards the right dot. And Miller launched a howitzer short side. And once again, they pick on the glove side of Fowler. They beat him there for the 3rd time today of the 5 goals they scored. What a pass. What a rip. And Fowler had to know the puck can only go one way, because with the way the Canadiens got in the shot lane, the only lane to the net was for Miller to fire it short side. And he beats Fowler, who got caught a little bit deep. And the Rangers, to me, pick up a huge extra point and a big win.
J.T. Miller's 2nd overtime game-winning goal this season. And a massive one at that for the Rangers, who are down 3-0 and 4-2 in this game. They rally to tie it in the second period, and they win it in overtime with the captain landing an exclamation point with a rifled shot. J.T. Miller only has 2 game-winning goals this season. Both of them have come in overtime for the Rangers this season. A massive win on home ice for the Blue Shirts as they come back to defeat the Montreal Canadiens 5-4. What drama here tonight at the world's most famous arena. A lot more to get to on the post-game show. Dan Grossa in the studio. We'll have highlights and reaction from the Rangers dressing room. We'll also have the coaches report with Mike Sullivan's post-game press conference. That is all to come right after this. Rangers 5, Canadiens 4 in overtime here at Madison Square Garden. We'll step aside. The post-game show is next. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Your soul may feel broken today.
Joel Osteen.
But your soul can be restored.
Salvation.
Healing will come. Joy will come. Peace will come.
Be inspired.
Forces that have held you back are being broken off of your emotions, your attitudes, your thoughts. You are not going to live wounded. He's restoring your soul.
Joel Osteen Radio, Sirius XM 128, and on the Sirius XM app.
Historic hockey moments on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Only 3 teams had done it before, and on April 30th, 2014, the LA Kings had their chance on the road in San Jose.
Brown into the empty net, and he scores!
The 2014 LA Kings have made history. The 4th team to ever come back from a 3-0 deficit to win a best-of-7 series.
The hockey history continues. Never miss a moment on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Welcome to the New York Rangers postgame show. Now, here's Dan Grassa on the MSG Radio Network.
And it's time now for the Rangers postgame summary. It is brought to you by Citgo. Dan Grassa with you. Well, start of a 3-game homestand for the New York Rangers this evening. The 646th regular season get-together between a pair of original 6 teams, the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. The visitors, though, would jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first period. The Rangers battled back, however, and got this one tied up at 4-4 heading into the third. However, 60 minutes was not enough to decide this one. We would head to the overtime, and in the extra session, it would be the captain, J.T. Miller, registering his second of the night on the power play. The Ranger power play a perfect 2-for-2 this evening, and the Blue Shirts come all the way back, and they defeat the Montreal Canadiens tonight 5-4 in overtime. So the Rangers improved to 16-13-4. They pick up points 35-36. They now have points in 5 of the last 6 games. Montreal gets the 1 point. They're now 16-11-4, also with 36 points. Rangers improved their home record to 4-8-3 on the year, and they've now got points in 4 consecutive games on the Garden Ice. Igor Shesterkin rebounded from a shaky first period, made 13 saves this evening as Montreal only had 17 shots on goal, so a good job by the Rangers limiting the attack on Igor. And the Blue Shirts continuing their mastery over this Canadiens team of late. They now have points in 9 consecutive games against the Habs, going 7-0-2 during that stretch. But no shortage of contributors tonight for this Ranger team. J.T. Miller, the hero, with the 2 goals, but you had several multi-point efforts tonight by the Rangers. Goal and an assist from Will Cooley. Goal and an assist from Noah Laba. 2 assist games from Matthew Robertson and Connor Sherry. Everybody playing a hand in this one tonight. And the Rangers get the victory in the first game of this 3-game homestand. A 3-game homestand, by the way, which features the Rangers at work 3 times in 4 nights. And that was the Rangers post-game summary brought to you by Citgo. Rangers fans, Citgo top-tier tri-clean gasoline helps your engine run smoother and cleaner. Start with Citgo, you are good to go. We are just getting started on the New York Rangers postgame show, but before we continue, let us pause 10 seconds and allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 1050 ESPN, WEPN, New York.
When we return, we'll take a listen to the highlights as to how this one all unfolded. We'll also go inside the dressing room for some post-game reaction. We'll hear from head coach Mike Sullivan, and we'll also check out the out-of-town scoreboard on a busy Saturday around the rest of the National Hockey League. 5-4 Rangers. They win it in overtime this evening, and you're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
Week 15 of the NFL season continues on Sunday with a tremendous slate of games, and Sirius XM NFL Radio is your place to be for a comprehensive preview and in-depth analysis of every single matchup. Hear from the best guests and analysts as they get you ready for kickoff on Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports. Wherever you are, your team plays here. Historic hockey moments.
Game 8 of Super Series 76 coming to you from the Spectrum.
January 11th, 1976, the Philadelphia Flyers play host to the team known as the Red Army team of the Soviet Union.
They are leaving the ice. They're going to go. They're going home. Come out, and in about 40 seconds worth of hockey time, the Flyers have scored.
And the Broad Street Bullies would never look back after that one, winning 4-1 to become the only NHL team in the 4-game series to beat the Red Army.
Sirius XM.